preseason game of the Rams Broadcasting Network is brought to you by Edward Jones. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Also by your quality Ford dealers. Also, Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Make it your first choice for quality tires and expert auto service. Bud Light, Port Paradise Music Festival. Here we go. And Bommarito Automotive Group, where Price sells cars. It's the Governor's Cup on the line today as the Rams get set to play the Kansas City Chiefs here at the Edward Jones Dome. Jeff Fisher in his second game as head coach, 142 career victories, first season with the Rams, and his first game at home here at the Edward Jones Dome. On the other side of things, Romeo Crennel, his first full season as head coach of the Chiefs, came on it on an interim basis last year after Todd Haley was fired, former head coach of the Browns. Romeo Crennel, 65 years old, with his GM Scott Pioli, taking this team over, a team that a lot of people think could be a team that not only wins the AFC West, but a team that could make some hay in the AFC as well. Maybe the bigger picture in the AFC. The Rams, looks like, will get the ball first, as it'll be their offense out. Let's look at some of their wide receivers. We talked about those wide receivers during our countdown to kickoff. Here's one of the battles that we'll be focusing on this evening. No Danario Alexander this evening. Also, we're not going to see Brandon Gibson. He is bothered by a hamstring, but we're going to see plenty of Brian Quick, plenty of Steve Smith, plenty of Greg Salas, and plenty of Chris Gibbons as well. Marshall, Chris Gibbons last week, a guy that went too deep maybe 3 times, drew a long pass interference flag, could have had another one down inside the 5. He's a weapon.
He's a guy that could just straight take the top off of a defense. I believe he's going to open up a lot of underneath stuff for the tight ends. Also for guys like Steve Smith and Danny Amendola when it's time for them to play. The thing is, I want to see those passes connect. I want to see that ball get thrown early and often. Quarterback put the ball up in the air. Let him run underneath the football. The kid has speed.
Yeah. Ross, how much stock do you put in the first preseason game? The Rams or anyone's?
Very, very little. And I don't put a whole lot of stock in any of the preseason games. I mean, people put a little bit more in the second preseason game. Everybody talks about the all-important third preseason game, but how many years in a row did the Colts not win a preseason game? I mean, and we heard Steven Jackson a little earlier in the show talking about the fact that they've been 4-0 in the preseason before, and we've all known what happened after that. What matters is that they get ready for week 1.
You know, Ross, and saying that, you know, because it's just not enough practice like it used to be in the past.
Different day and age.
They have to evaluate their talent, and you can't get caught up in the, okay, we want to win preseason games. You got to test guys, you got to test things out and find out what kind of team you're building.
And we find out what kind of team the Rams will have at home here at the Edward Jones Dome right now. Matt Szymanski is set to kick off, the rookie out of SMU. And speaking of rookies, Isaiah Peed is alone in the end zone. He will be the return man. We saw him in the return game last week as well in Indianapolis. Jeff Fisher said, hey, you know, that one time Isaiah Peed shouldn't have brought it out from the back of the end zone. That time he lets it go over his head. Here comes Sam Bradford. Marshall, last week 7-9, 57 yards, played 2 series. What'd you see?
And what I like from Sam is what I saw. The ball was coming out of Sam's hands early and often quick. The coach came out, they brought some pressure. He was finding guys. He remained the passer, kept his eyes downfield, looked poised. And yes, when he threw the ball a little high, every quarterback needs his receivers to bail him out. He got bailed out, but he did throw some good balls.
Well, let's see what Sam does here tonight. He has Britton Miller and he has Steven Jackson in the backfield. Steven had 4 carries last week against Indy. They're going to open up with a play fake. Sam loads up and throws deep, and it's caught. It's across midfield, sliding out of bounds. Danny Amendola.
Boy, I'm talking about good play action, sucked up the linebackers. I mean, Sam, this is the kind of play action you want. Look at the ball. This is what I'm talking about. Throwing the ball way in outside. Only Danny Amendola can make that catch. Great connection. Great way to start off.
Love the first down play call by Brian Schottenheimer, because as an offensive lineman, you love play action because the defense thinks first down of the game, they're going to run the football.
It's a gain of 35, and give that line credit for holding the line as well and giving Sam some room. Here's Steven Jackson with some room as well. First down yardage across the 30 down to the 28-yard line, a gain of 18, and there's an injury. Roger Saffold slow to get up in the backfield.
Boy, you want to talk about the pass setting up the run. That play action, just take a look at the blocking downfield. Steven gets in the open field and just, oh man, I would not want to see that.
He's a big man, Marshall. He is a big man.
My
Look
God.
at him on the field before the game. I mean, he looks like a D end.
Oh man!
Every time I see that guy, I'm more impressed by how physically, strong he is and big he is.
Going to see a little bit more of Steven this evening. Again, mentioned those 4 carries last week. Jeff Fisher says maybe 5, maybe 6, ramp it up a bit. Here's Jackson's second carry, not nearly as productive as his first. Gets around 4 yards down to the 23-yard line. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Bud Light. It is the sure sign of a good time. The most notable here, Barry Richardson starting at right tackle in place of Jason Smith on the offensive line. Another Smith is in the lineup. Steve Smith at wide receiver. Danny Amendola had that 35-yard catch a bit earlier, and it's Matthew Mulligan, the former Jet, who's the tight end. Britton Miller is the fullback. We will see Ovi Mahaley a bit as well. We're also seeing a lot of Steve Smith there. He is lined up to the right. Austin Pettis in the game as well for the Rams. As here it is 2nd and 6. Bradford to throw. He's 2 for 2. Red zone. Kendricks. End zone. Touchdown. 23 yards for the second-year tight end, Lance Kendricks.
I said fast start, and they got off to a fast start. The keys to the game, are you kidding me? 4 plays, bing, bang, boom. Kendricks just working one-on-one against Belcher. Makes him look foolish. That's a relatively easy touchdown by the Rams. They could not have gotten off to a better start tonight.
And you want to talk about winning the line of scrimmage? Let's talk about those plays that we just saw. They won the line of scrimmage on each and every play. And on that last pass play, Sam Bradford wouldn't have got touched. I mean, he could have had 4 more seconds back there to throw the football just now.
He could have read the Sunday paper back there. Greg Zuerlein with the extra point. It's a 4-play, 80-yard drive. That's a fast start. Took a minute 58 off the clock, and the Rams are on the board early, leading 7-0. Lead at home at the Edward Jones Dome. Rams on top of the Chiefs 7-0 after a 23-yard touchdown pass from Sam Bradford to the second-year tight end out of Wisconsin, Lance Kendricks. Now Greg Zuerlein, a rookie, set to kick off as the Rams got out to a good early start. They're checking out Roger Saffold on the sideline. Try to get some information on that coming up in a bit, but here's the kickoff with Javier Arenas, one of the more dangerous return men of the AFC, set to return for Kansas City. Greg Zuerlein, for the most part, can kick it out of the back of the end zone. Last week, Jeff Fisher told us he didn't want to see that. He wanted to see how his coverage units will do. Let's see what he does here. Arenas has a chance to return it if he wants to. He decides not to. Terrence Copper in front of him, and he will take a knee. A little bit of a scuffle down there as well.
Hey, this is the Governor's Cup.
Yes,
it is.
is.
I want you to know, this is just, albeit it is a preseason game, I played in some of these games, and it gets a little testy out there.
Let's see how testy it gets. It was Mario Hagan pushing and shoving on the 20. This is Matt Castle. Last week looked good. Kansas City offensively looked very good last week. Castle 5 of 6, 67 yards and a touchdown. Last year, couldn't finish the season, had a foot injury. Now he is back with a new offensive coordinator and a new running back as well. That is former Brown and Madden cover boy Peyton Hillis in the backfield. Castle to throw to the outside, has a completion. That is Tony Moiaki, the tight end who last year missed the entire season. Cortland Finnegan on the tackle. Here are your Bud Light lineups. On the Chiefs side, Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Brandon Albert on the left side. Eric Winston, the former Texan, is playing right tackle. Kevin Boss, the former Giant and Raider, is there at tight end. John Baldwin at wide receiver. Dwayne Bowe just yesterday signed his franchise tender. He's reported, but he will not be playing this evening. It's 2nd and 9 after the gain of 1. That's Baldwin. That's a fumble. Ball is loose. Did he ever have it? Fight for the ball on the 30. Now back to the 35. Rams say they have it.
Boy, listen, Ross, you talked in the preseason about fast starts. I mean, offensively and defensively, this is about as fast of a start as you could ever want.
I mean, you can't get any better than this. He's playing off coverage. You mentioned Janoris Jenkins in the pregame. A slant the ball and gets that left arm in there, knocks the ball out. Dahl falls on it, tries to get up and run with it, but this is almost like the Rams scripted. This game so far has been scripted by the Rams Broadcasting Network.
But the awareness, not just to tackle the guy, but get your hands on the ball by Janoris Jenkins. That's what you want to do. Those are the little things that playmakers do, when you're playing a game. The tackle wasn't enough. Let's strip the guy. Let's get the ball back.
Remember this year, Marshall, we talked about this last week. Guys, every turnover will be reviewed. Janoris Jenkins had the hit there on Baldwin. Craig Dahl had the recovery. Our referee is Matt Nix. Let's see what Matt has to say. Matt's going to go check this one out.
No Don King this week?
And no Don King.
Okay.
Don King was our referee last week. I don't know where Don King is this week. I do know where we are, though, and that is a 7-0 game. Back with the decision on this turnover. Look good to us. Rams leading the Chiefs 7-0. Actually, as that was reviewed rather quickly. So here we go from the 31-yard line. Rams do have the football after the Jonathan Baldwin fumble. Quick slant again. Sam Bradford is on fire. He's 3 for 3. They're back inside the red zone. Amendola's second catch of the day.
Marshall, I love the aggressiveness by Brian Schottenheimer. Again, the first down play action because they're a 3-4 defense. They're all playing the run first. Look at all the linebackers there. When the linebackers bite like that, he can throw that slant to him.
Someone better tell the NFC West that Sam Bradford has his blankie back and Danny Amendola. And you can tell the timing is there. Look at the throw. It's just, it's pretty.
That's his new nickname, the Blankie. How about that? Here's Steven Jackson running hard. 15 yards on the Amendola catch. He has 2 for 50. Here's Steven with a gain of 3. So they go back to the ground. Here's the Chiefs' defensive starters here. And your Bud Light starting lineups. Bud Light, sure sign of a good time. Tyson Jackson, Glenn Dorsey, 2 top 5 picks there at the middle. Still no Dontari Poe starting in the middle as of yet. Derek Johnson had a good game last year against the Rams at Arrowhead. Justin Houston had a great rookie season as well. Moving on the line on 2nd and 7, 11:15 remaining. Roger Saffold back in the game. Good to see him there, but I think he might have been moving early.
76 on the offense.
Yep, 5 yards in legal motion. Roger Saffold, back him up.
Yeah, these are the momentum killers right here. You have them on the ropes. You got a drive going. You're at home. There's no reason to move. I mean, let's see if they can overcome this. Last week, these are the things that kill drives and stop them. Let's see if they can overcome this week.
Rams bring 3 receivers to the left. As on 2nd and 12, Bradford's at the shotgun, has Jackson next to him on the right. That's Steve Smith wide to the left, Kendricks in the slot. Bradford looks left, has all kinds of time, throws inside the 5, and throws incomplete. Intended receiver there, Austin Pettis, who had a nice game last week. Jaleel Brown on the cover.
And Austin Pettis is a guy that they want to look at. Look how he won at the line of scrimmage. Now we see why. I felt like Sam Bradford would have wanted that ball back, but savvy veteran over there. That's what you want. Jaleel Brown did a good job of grabbing the jersey, not allowing Pettis to get inside. That's a veteran move right there for a young guy to be making.
That is a savvy veteran move for Jaleel Brown, who is starting with Brandon Flowers still banged up. The Chiefs' #1 corner not in uniform today. Remember, Brandon Carr, the other corner, moved on to Dallas as a free agent. Looks like a timeout on the field. Kansas City has taken its first timeout. Rams on top of the Chiefs, 7-0. We will step aside and bring you more first quarter action. Marshall Falk, Ross Tucker, Andrew Siciliano in a 7-0 game with the Rams driving. Right now, they're on sale right now for as low as $225 for the whole year. Visit stlouisrams.com for more information or pick up the phone. Do it the old-fashioned way. 314-RAMS-TIX. 314-RAMS-TIX. It's 3rd and 12. Sam Bradford 3 for 4. He's already thrown for 73 yards. Has a touchdown pass to Lance Kendricks. 3rd down, operating out of the shotgun with Steven Jackson alongside him to the right. Stevens carried the ball 3 times. Bradford looking end zone, dumps it over the middle. Steve Smith, 10-yard line, fighting for that first down yardage. Don't think he gets it. 2 yards short.
You always want to look at the penalty. I mean, the penalty right there pushed him back. They're in great down and distance situation right there. Look like they're going for it.
They're going to go for it.
Hey, you might as well. This is the Governor's Cup, Marshall. You know that. You were saying that earlier.
But last week, I mean, we saw this a couple of times by Jeff Fisher, wanting to see how his team is going to respond in these situations.
All right, so the Rams go for it and do so out of the shotgun. 4th and 2, need to get to the 6-yard line to make it 1st and goal. Bradford to throw, pressured, lofts, end zone, flag, no, there it is. Pass interference, and he caught it. I was waiting for the flag, didn't think there was any way Danny Amendola could have caught that behind Javier Arenas.
Man, listen, one at the line of scrimmage. One at the line of scrimmage, gets leverage, breaks outside. Sam actually gets pressured and can't get enough on the ball. And Amendola, with contact, makes the catch, holds onto the ball, through contact with the ground. Man, what a play. Yeah, the blankie is making plays. The blankie is making plays. I mean, Sam and Danny Amendola, you can see that the relationship and the chemistry is there. And yes, Bradford missed him last year.
That was fantastic concentration by Danny Amendola, and we saw it in the pregame. He worked hard to get back. His first time back here in the Dome in front of his fans. He's making the most of it.
Listen, it is only the preseason, but I think Amendola likes to show that he's back, and I think Sam Bradford, after a week in which he had to answer questions about the health of his ankle and whether or not he's going to be 100%, I think leading another touchdown drive as they review this one. 5 plays, 31 yards on the drive after the Baldwin turnover. I think this will silence at least some of the preseason critics so far. Bradford too early touchdown drives, and Zerline is now on for the point after. He remains perfect in the preseason. 14-0. 10:01 still remaining in the first quarter. You wanted a fast start? You get a fast start behind Sam Bradford in that offense. To Danny Amendola, 14-0. We always ask you and invite you to tweet us. You can tweet the Rams, STL Rams, St. Louis Rams, I beg your pardon, STL Louis. I never know how to say that. St. Louis Rams, but it's not the Saint that you're pronouncing, Marshall. It's ST Louis Rams. I always get tongue-tied on that one. Tweet us in the booth, and we will get to some of your tweets later on. Sam Bradford, 2 early touchdown drives. The second one after sudden change. Janoris Jenkins, the rookie, takes it away from Baldwin. Craig Dahl, the recovery, and then the touchdown pass to Amendola. Here is Arenas on the return, his second chance today. Good coverage by the Rams. He's out of the 16. Flag, though, on the far side on the return.
Rodney McLeod with the tackle.
Rookie Rodney McLeod, the free agent safety out of Virginia, trying to make the team. He had the tackle.
Yeah, much better kick. Allow for the return. And Jeff Fisher talked. He wants to see how his cover teams covered. You know, you want to find out, and they did a good job there.
Matt Nix again is our referee, as it's another week of working with replacement officials. Matt Nix waiting on his call. Signal is it's going to be on the Chiefs, at least initially.
You get a nickname?
It's Richard Matt Nix, yes.
The ref gets a nickname?
I did not say hi before the game. He gets a nickname.
And
it's actually on.
Matt short for Richard.
I don't know. That's a great question, Ross. I'll tell you one thing that isn't short, the decision-making process.
23, Jerome Murphy is this week's Jefferson Regional Medical Center. Top performer.
All right, so it is a block in the back on the receiving team, and we will break. Kansas City backed up when we get back. Chiefs have only run 2 plays. Rams lead them 14-0.
Congratulations.
Rams 14-0. A couple of Sam Bradford touchdown passes. Anyone who thought that maybe, just maybe, that last week was a harbinger of things to come, so far the Rams have put that aside, and granted, only early, week 2 in the preseason, but they lead 14-0 here over Kansas City. And after the block in the back on the kickoff return, the Chiefs are going to start it back deep in their own territory, their own 8-yard line, with a first down. Matt Castle takes his time at the line with the play clock winding down to 6. He will hand off. That is Jamal Charles battling back from a torn ACL week 2 last year. Quentin Michael up to make the tackle. Jamal Charles, good to see him back on the field. And speaking of injuries, tonight's Rams injury report brought to you by Washington University sports medicine specialists and Barnes Jewish Hospital. Team physicians for the St. Louis Rams. These are the guys we will not see tonight. Bradley Fletcher misses another game. Same with Brandon Gibson. It's a hamstring. There's no need to rush him, Jeff Fisher said, in only the second week of the preseason. Get a good look at some of the other wide receivers, Steve Smith most notably, and the kids, Givens and Brian Quick, We'll see them a little bit later. 2nd and 5 now for the Chiefs. And Castle's going to call timeout.
We getting back to the injury report, Bradley Fletcher, we don't need to rush him, but Janoris Jenkins, listen, he's going to rush him. He's going to rush him back because that kid's he's playing well. You don't want to be out of the mix right now when you have a young draft pick that's as talented as Janoris Jenkins is. Bradley Fletcher, trust me, he wants out of the tub. He wants on the field.
Well, and my guess would be, Marshall, just based on watching Janoris Jenkins through a game and a quarter, is it'll be his job anyway. This is probably just expediting the process. I think it'll be tough for Bradley Fletcher to come back and get that job back.
Well, say this too, guys, as well. Last year when they had to cycle through double-digit corners, and we're not making that number up, they had double-digit corners on injured reserve at one point. They're signing guys off the street, off the practice squad on seemingly a weekly basis. We talked before, Ross, in the pregame about depth at wide receiver. That's a strength now. There's depth, Marshall, at DB, at corner specifically. That's a strength now.
There is. I mean, and they did a great job through the draft, picked up some guys along the way. I mean, Cortland Finnegan, the stability that he brings. I mean, that guy is fiery, man. Listen, I said it last week. I did not like playing against Cortland Finnegan. He just got under my skin.
One of those guys at corner that did really well last year, actually led the team in picks, Josh Gordy, with a big hit right there, and Jamal Charles around left end near first down yardage.
But you take a look at that play. I mean, Josh Gordy held the receiver up and took the receiver, and he's strong enough. I mean, we're talking about a corner that's 5'11", 195 pounds. Basically take the receiver and dumped him into the running back. That's what you want to see in your cornerback. We know you can cover. We know you can do all of that stuff. Can you tackle? Are you willing to stick your head in there?
He had 3 picks last year to lead the Rams, 4 tackles as you saw last week. That is first down yardage for Jamal Charles, just shy of the 19-yard line. And now Peyton Hillis is going to check in. Here's Hillis. Nothing doing. Middle of that line, stood him up, backed him up maybe a yard. It was Michael Brockers, the rookie, leading the charge.
Well, that's why he's here. He's here because he showed at LSU an unbelievable ability to stop the run. Look at number 90 in the middle of your screen. You'll see him knock back Ryan Lilja and get his left shoulder in there and make that play. Lilja is a 9-year veteran. Look at the technique by Brockers, the lockout and the shed. Perfectly done by the young guy. He was well coached at LSU.
14th overall pick, second team All-SEC, as mentioned, only 21 years old. Said when he got drafted he wanted to help turn this franchise around. Made a nice play there. Castle checks down to Jamal Charles, who dances towards first down yardage. Has another one, actually, just shy of the 30, 29-yard line. Cortland Finnegan there on the stop.
You know, Marshall, a lot of people criticize Matt Castle for how often he checks the ball down, but when you have a guy like Jamal Charles, or when you were playing, you get a guy like that, the ball in space, I don't think that's necessarily the safe play. Give him the ball and see what he can do.
Exactly, and that's smart football right there. He looked downfield, check number 1, check number 2, went through his progression, came to Charles, dumped the ball off. First down, you move the chains.
Second week of the year last year, Charles blew his knee out, falling out of bounds in Detroit. 2 years ago, as that one's knocked out of the line, 2 years ago, Jamal Charles was second to the NFL in rushing behind Arian Foster. Chris Long got a hand on that one.
That's what they call a look pass. It was supposed to be a run to the left side. Chris Long is not even blocked. Look, it's supposed to be a run, but Castle and the wide receiver just see it, Baldwin, but Chris Long read it, got his hands up right away. That's being a smart player right there.
Could have been a pick, too. 2nd and 10. Chris Long, 13 sacks, a career high last year, led the Rams, matching his father's career high, believe it or not, the Hall of Famer Howie Long. Castle to throw in the slot. That's little Dexter McCluster, sometimes a running back, sometimes a wide receiver.
Right there, that's bang-bang football. I mean, Dahl did a great job. Guy makes the catch. I mean, you don't let him, there's no run after the catch possible. That's good coverage. That's good tackling, form fit right there.
Especially a guy like McCluster, a little jitterbug like that. I mean, they brought him in here to be a Sproles type of player, which is why you need a short tackle from a guy like Craig Dahl.
Craig Dahl in there. Seems to have a little bit of the upper hand now on that safety spot, with Darian Stewart missing yet another game, hamstring. 3rd and 5, crowd starts to get loud. Castle's going to work out of the shotgun. Needs to make the 39-yard line. Has McCluster in motion there to the right. Pressured, rolling. Castle throws across his body, and McCluster makes the catch. That's first down yardage at the 40.
Boy, that was just a good play by Matt Castle. I mean, guys recovered. He bought some time, broke containment. What you want to do if you are the left defensive end, you want to make sure, Chris Long, you take an inside move. You have to keep coming. You must keep coming. Langford on the stunt. Didn't keep coming.
He's got to replace him. He's got to replace him.
He broke containment. Langford has to keep containment right there, and you have a sack, or you're going to have a cover. You're going to have him throwing the ball away.
Janoris Jenkins there on the tackle. 7 plays, 33 yards. This will be the 8th play of the drive for the Chiefs. Castle swings it to the left. Jamal Charles makes the first guy miss, and he picks up 8 yards to the 49-yard line. Jolon Dunbar on him.
Listen, I'm watching Robert Quinn because I feel like the guy's going to be a talent. He's going to be a real asset. After last week with all the pressures, he got chipped right there. But what I like is you stay active. I've chipped many guys, and that was it. They were done. Rush, stop. Listen, he got chipped, but you have to stay active and stay after Castle. That's a great lesson for a young player.
You were a good chipper, by the way. I'm going to give you credit for that. I appreciate how you used to chip. You put a shoulder into some people.
A little sneaky with it.
Second down at around 3. Again, shotgun. Jamal Charles again with a chip. This one again knocked out of the line. This time, James Laurinaitis got a hand on it. Second one, the Rams have deflected on this drive.
Listen, that's smart football right there. You got a quarterback that's making quick throws, and he has a low launch angle. What do? If you don't get to the quarterback, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Laurinaitis did a great job right there. Put your hands up. But here's the thing that's rampant right now in the league. You go to training camp, you watch everybody doing ball drills, the D linemen, D tackles. Everybody's doing ball drills because the turnover in the possession is important in the league today.
Here we go, third down. Steve Breston in motion. Again, need to make the Rams 49-yard line. Play clock winding down to 2-1. They get it off. They run. Shane Drone pulled down in the backfield. Dunbar on the tackle.
Listen, this is a great open field tackle. I mean, you got a back that's sprinting for the sideline. He pretty much got you outflanked, and Jolon Dunbar does a great job. I've been wondering this. Listen, I don't know how do you practice tackling right now in the NFL?
You don't?
You ought to know how. Let's keep the outside arm free, attacks the outside leg, you got to back down.
You sign guys like Jolon Dunbar that led the Saints in tackles last year. You sign guys that you know can tackle because you can't practice it anymore.
Nah, you can. It's a different day and age. Dustin Colquitt, low snap, takes it off the turf, punts it. Janoris Jenkins, fair catch. 8-yard line. Rams have a long field ahead of them, but they've looked so far pretty good, both offensively and now defensively. 14-0. First quarter action at the Edward Jones Dome. The Rams start well for Jeff Fisher at the Edward Jones Dome, 14-0. Marshall, a couple of Sam Bradford touchdown passes.
Yeah, and you take a look at Sam. I mean, poised in the pocket, clean feet, nice ball here to Danny Amendola, allowed him to run underneath it, and the quick decision. That back foot hits, ball comes out of his hands. That's something that I hadn't seen in Sam Bradford since college. And his throw here, under pressure, still got the ball out. Danny Amendola makes the catch with the DB all over him. Got the flag and all.
5 for 6, 91 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. Rams now long field ahead of them. They're going to hand it off to Steven Jackson. He's around right end on first down. First down, yardage pushed out of bounds around the 25.
Man, did you see the right side of the line of scrimmage just disappear?
That was Barry Richardson. Watch the right tackle, Barry Richardson. He pulls around. He's blocking Justin Houston. Maybe gets away with a little bit of hold. That's a vet move, though, right there.
Is that holding? I don't know.
It's not holding.
I've never seen a lineman hold.
Look at his right hand there.
I've never seen an offensive lineman hold.
Just a little tug. It's all it takes, just a little bit of tug, and then Steven can get around the edge. I love it.
Eric Berry ran him out of bounds. Speaking of ACLs, he's coming off one as well. Berry is gain of 15. They are now on the 23-yard line. And a new set of downs. 1st and 10. Stevens stays in there, and he will carry again. This time try the left side. Nothing doing. Hit of the line of scrimmage, maybe a couple of inches. You know,
that play, you watch the backside in, run it down. I mean, Brian Schottenheimer's okay. Yeah, we got the naked coming. We're going to definitely run the naked. Anytime you have the backside in collapsing that much on your front side, I mean, you have to run a naked. That's the only thing that stopped that play right there.
And I think Sam is athletic enough. I'm not going to say he would run, but he can at least press the edge on the nakeds and the boots to keep that guy honest.
to it. They do now on 2nd and long. Call it 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard gain. Little play fake and a rollout. Bradford with the flag down, chased by Houston. Throws Steve Smith on the sideline. Incomplete. But again, a flag down on the 20.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold against Britt Miller, the fullback. That's tough duty to ask Britt Miller as a fullback off of play action to block an outside linebacker like Justin Houston. I mean, he's just not going to be able to hold up very long in that matchup.
Yeah, known rusher. I mean, and what he could have done is
Holding, number 49 on the offense. That penalty is declined. The play will be 3rd down.
I don't know what to call it. Matt.
That is Matt Nix, Richard Matt Nix, a referee.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll take any name.
All right.
You know?
I was about to say Matt Richard made a good call.
We got the call right, though.
Yes, I'm saying.
Okay.
I was about to compliment him on,
All right.
on the call.
I mean, Ross called it, saw it right there. Britt Miller holding Justin Houston, who had 5.5 sacks a year ago as a rookie. Now 3rd and long. Coming up on 2.5 remaining in the first quarter. Rams leading 14-0. Bradford to throw out of the shotgun. And he throws. Lance Kendricks already has a touchdown and now has a 1st down across the 35.
Man, I mean, just you show protection with 7 just in case they decide to bring pressure. And Kendricks does a great job of checking down. Caught Eric Berry sniffing around in the line of scrimmage, trying to key dog him. Boy, that was a good play by Kendricks.
Yeah, Berry wanted to rush. It's almost like he lost eyes for Kendricks. You got to be in coverage first. Kendricks snuck out there. I like when they have Kendricks in the backfield like that, Marshall.
We've seen him line up on the line for the touchdown. We've seen him in the slot, and now Lance Kendricks in the backfield. That's where Steven is, and Jackson will run again. Nice little hole there. Carrying a couple of guys near 9 yards out to the 44.
And that's what Steven Jackson brings you right there. You know, listen, you're going to see this hole open up. Steven sees this hole. We could probably fit Ross through this hole. But it's after contact right now. Look at the yards after contact. That's what Steven Jackson brings you. I love the way that they're running him in this drive.
An awesome double team at the point of attack by Barry Richardson and Matt Mulligan. A couple free agent pickups really got some movement.
Steven took Ropati, Piatui.
Yeah, go ahead, try.
You know what? I had it practiced. Thank you, Ross. Teamwork up here. Bradford play fake, pressured, now throwing deep. Left side, wants Steve Smith. Let him out of bounds.
There's a lot of hand slapping going on right there.
Stanford Rout, the former Raider.
It's a lot of hand slapping going on right there. I mean, Steve looked like he got by him, but Rout was doing a great job at disrupting the rhythm of Steve Smith running downfield with all the hand slapping.
Is Steve Smith that type of player, Marshall? I never looked at Steve Smith as really a guy running a 9-route deep threat.
Listen,
I don't look at him that way.
Listen, he's sneaky. I talked to Ray Sherman before the game, and I say, Ray, tell me about Steve. How's camp going for him? He said, listen, Steve is what we call sneaky fast. I mean, the guy can get by you if you don't believe he can.
Rams on 3rd and short. Tries Steven, tripped up, didn't get it. Knocked down behind the line. Derek Johnson, the linebacker.
Yeah, you know, he's a Pro Bowler for a reason. Look at this play right here. I mean, he just dove over the line of scrimmage, submerged himself into Steven's legs, and you can't make a play there. You got to win the line of scrimmage. Look at Derek Johnson. Shot the gap, took a chance. Pro Bowl.
And that was a left guard, Quinn Ojanaka. He's got to have eyes for the backside linebacker. That is Quinn Ojanaka's player. Britt Miller, the fullback, is leading up on the play side backer. When you pull that guard around, all he had to do was get a chip on Derek Johnson, and Steven would have been able to get the 1st down.
Derek Johnson made the Pro Bowl for the first time last year. Here's the rookie punter, Johnny Hecker, at punts of 67 and 44 a week ago in Indianapolis. Javier Arias decides to field that, and he gets pulled down immediately. Nice play there, Jerome Murphy. Limits what could have been if he had got by him. A nice return, so 20-yard line where Kansas City has got to start.
Hey, I mean, this is what it's all about right here. I mean, listen, Javier, I can't believe he didn't fair catch that ball. Obviously, he saw something that I didn't see. But if I was Murphy, I would have slapped at the ball somehow, just how we saw Janoris Jenkins do.
Well, here's what he didn't see. He didn't see Murphy there to his right, I'm guessing.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a 42-yard punt for Hecker. Kansas City keeps its first-team offense out there. Matt Castle still in, and Jamal Charles now takes a couple of steps up. He's in the backfield. Castle throws. Kevin Boss, the former Raider, Craig Dahl, drags him out of bounds, but that's a 1st down. Good for about 14, 15 yards to the 37.
The former teammates right there. Kevin Boss and Craig Dahl both played for the Giants together back in the day. A little coverage. That was nice play by the Chiefs and Matt Castle. Talk about Bradford throwing it on time. He threw it out on time.
He did, and the Rams brought a little pressure. We brought a little pressure right there, and you leave Boss on the safety, Dahl, and Dahl's job is to make sure he doesn't give up too much, make the tackle, get him down.
Under 10 seconds now remaining in the first quarter. Kansas City with Castle to throw off the play fake, and he may run, gets away from Brockers, and slides down at midfield. A 12-yard, call it 11 on the spot there, 48, an 11-yard scramble for Matt Castle.
Yeah, go ahead and take that note, Robert Quinn. Listen, Matt Castle can run. You get up the field, you got to stay in your lane.
14-0 Rams over the Chiefs. 1 quarter in the books here at the Edward Jones Dome, and a good start to week 2 of the preseason. Chiefs with the Governor's Cup on the line at the Edward Jones Dome. Time to look now at your first quarter stats. And they are brought to you by True Home Value. Your home is where the heart is. Rams with 7 first downs. Kansas City has eked out 5. Haven't moved the ball much. Rams with 102 yards total. 55 for the Chiefs. And really, they have dominated. Forced a turnover as well. And Sam Bradford threw a couple of touchdowns. Now they switch sides. New set of downs. First down here, as it's going to be Jamal Charles on the toss. He cuts back. Jamal Charles hit hard in the middle of that line by Craig Dahl. Also in there, Mario Hagan, but gets about 7 yards. Let's call it to the 45.
Yeah, you look at Mario Hagan there, Marshall. It's crazy to me. Former teammate of mine. He's the oldest guy on the team. You know, it's just, you look at him, it's his 10th year, he's 32 years old, 10th year, oldest guy on the team. That bodes very well for this Rams franchise. You don't look around and see a whole lot of, he's the only double-digit guy on the team.
And the youngest guy on the team is on that D line in Michael Brocker. So the oldest and the youngest, a linebacker and a D lineman. Flushed out, Castle goes down. It's Robert Quinn who pulls him down. First sack of the day.
Another one, Marshall, where they had a fullback blocking a known rusher in Robert Quinn. Shane Bannon, the second-year man out of Yale, trying to block Robert Quinn. That's not happening.
Hey, Robert Quinn got to win that all day. He better eat right there. You eat, go get the quarterback, sack, and get him down.
It's a loss of 12 for Robert Quinn. Rams coaches were so excited last week to see what Robert Quinn would do against Indianapolis. Granted, we saw what happened on that first play when Donald Brown went 63 yards. Robert Quinn here does his job and pulls down Castle for the loss of 12. Castle, though, gets some of that back, actually a lot of it back, gets first down yardage back into Rams territory. Kevin Boss to the 40.
Hey, let's stick with Robert Quinn there. You know, you get a sack and you start doing well. Guess what happens? You're going to get chipped now.
Yep.
They're going to. That's respect right there. But what I need is Brockers to give me a little pass rush.
Yes.
You have the one-on-one matchup. You must beat your guy. Help him out. You can help out Robert Quinn by beating or winning the one-on-one matchup when you get it.
Yeah, you're looking at Brockers right there. He's starting to develop some pass rush moves. Longtime Rams defensive tackle Leroy Glover said he's getting there. It's going to take a little time, but he's getting there.
That was good for 17. Play fake to Peyton Hillis, and now a ball, a slant down to the 21-yard line. That's the other tight end, O'Connell. Jake O'Connell with that catch. There's a couple of big plays here by the Chiefs.
That's 2 throws in a row where Castle showed pretty good zip on those balls, Marshall. I mean, people say he's got an average arm, but that's 2 in a row where he put a little mustard on it and fired it in there.
And they're doing a good job with the play action, holding the linebackers at bay, using the tight ends against the safeties by creating that space and giving Matt some windows to throw the football.
Kansas City team is deep at tight end. Tony Moiaki is back. You see Kevin Boss as well. O'Connell made that catch. Steve Maneri, the former O-lineman. We'll see a little bit of him later as well. 1st and 10 as they pull it to the 21-yard line. Quick little screen out to McCluster. He has room. Gets out of 1 tackle and gets down to the 10. Janoris Jenkins eventually got him. Another first down, though.
You want to talk about a cornerback sticking his head in there. Boy, I mean, listen, this is that jailbreak screen, and most corners see this screen and they stay outside. He fights off the block of Steve Preston. Bam, and that's laying the wood right there. That's laying the wood. Corners stay out of that. That's a touchdown against any other team.
That's when a bad play for the Rams is actually a good sign for them for the regular season that Janoris Jenkins is willing to deliver a blow like that.
And remember, Jenkins had forced the fumble on Baldwin on Kansas City's first drive. This is Peyton Hillis, the big dump truck running downhill down to the 5-yard line. A couple of years ago, he was all-world for the Browns, made it onto the Madden cover, and then not a lot of interest in the offseason as a free agent, signed a 1-year deal for $3 million, wanted a lot more and an extension with the Browns. They never gave it to him.
Yeah, a little bit of a, sorry, Marshall, a little bit of a wham play there, but he's here because he wants to reunite with Brian Dable, who had that big year with him in Cleveland.
Yeah, and on that play, I mean, Jelon Dunbar, you come across formation and get a hat on the ball carrier. I mean, that's what you need. You need people to rally around the ball, even when it's not ran in their gaps.
2nd and goal from the 5. Hillis will stay in there. And Castle operates out of the shotgun. Play clock at 5. Handoff. Hillis fighting through Cortland Finnegan down to the 1.
You know, he just looks like a different back. You know, last year just really didn't want to be in Cleveland, and now you see, I mean, the guy looks like just like a different back. That's a cornerback. Cortland Finnegan holding up a big, powerful halfback / fullback. Man, that's a good tackle right there. That's what you want to see you cover, guys. Tackle him.
And I like the Chiefs giving him a 1-year deal. He's hungry, Marshall. He wants that deal. He's hungry. Dangle that carrot.
Carried 4 times already today. 10th play of the drive is going to be Hillis again. Dives. Touchdown. Kansas City's on the board.
Oh, that's just a great individual effort right there. I mean, he made a better play. I mean, we had Laurinaitis, we had Jelon Dunbar right there in the hole, and I mean, most running back, you're going to win that. Boy, that
Laurinaitis
right
overran it a little bit. They had two guys there.
Little bit. He want to scrape a little tighter. I mean, James is going to tell you, if he scrapes a little tighter, you know, you hug that down block, you'll get that tackle.
10 plays and 80 yards on the drive. A couple of key 3rd down conversions, nearly 5 minutes, 4:59 off the clock. Ryan Suckup in for the point after try, was perfect last year on his PATs and nails this one as well. So,
Suckup? Yeah.
He's another former Mr. Irrelevant. We had one last week in Chandler Harnish. All right. Rams on top of the Chiefs, 14-7 after the Peyton Hillis touchdown to the Edward Jones Dome. Hillis touchdown. Still Rams on top, 14-7 here at the Edward Jones Dome with the Governor's Cup on the line. Rams leading the Chiefs. A couple of Sam Bradford touchdowns early. One of them to Lance Kendricks, the other one to Danny Amendola. Bradford's day seems to be done as well as he is on the sideline. Likely Kellen Clemens coming in now for the Rams. That is after this kickoff. The rookie Chris Gibbons is back to return. Ross Tucker, Marshall Faulk, Andrew Siciliano. We said before that Chris Gibbons is the fastest guy on this team. Let's see what kind of speed he has here, trying to get to the outside. Flag is down. Arenas goes low and knocks him down on the 27-yard line.
Return for Gibbons.
Those are the plays, man. Jeff talked about it when we talked to him. We just want to eliminate the mental errors. I mean, you didn't even have to make that block. There was no need to make that block.
Let's see what our referee, Richard Matt Nix, has to say.
Block in the back, number 48 on the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
All right, 14-7, Rams on top of the Chiefs. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, check out the Jeff Fisher mustache. That's right. You could have one of these. We'll tell you how coming up next. Here at the Edward Jones Dome, and the Rams lead the Chiefs 14-7. Help welcome our new coach Jeff Fisher to the Edward Jones Dome on Sunday, September 16th. The Rams are going to be at home against RG3 and the Washington Redskins. Everyone in attendance is going to get a Jeff Fisher mustache. StLouisRams.com or 314-RAMS-TICKS if you want to be here, and you should, not only for the football, but believe me, you'll see in a second, for the mustache. Here is Kellen Clemens into the game now. 2nd string quarterback will handle your 2nd string running back. Isaiah Peed, the rookie out of Cincinnati. He gets about a yard. So Brian Killington is the VP of Marketing and Brand Strategy. He joins us in the booth. Brian, we have our Jeff Fisher mustaches on. Marshall has one on as well.
I look good.
Marshall looks fantastic with his Jeff Fisher mustache on. Brian, week 2. You need one of these.
Yes, absolutely. This is the Fisher stash. We're going to have a lot of fun this year. So all fans in attendance against the Redskins are going to get one. And we're actually going to break a record that day. The most fake mustaches in one place at one time.
What is the current record, do we know?
It's only 227.
And we looked this up, I assume.
We'd have. We've actually filed paperwork with Guinness, and we're going to blow that record away.
How about that? Kellen Clemens throws it low. Isaiah P. pulls it off the turf. Stanford route with the tackle there. Third down coming up. All right, so a Jeff Fisher mustache day. That is only one part of a big promotional schedule the Rams have coming up for their 10 games this year.
Yeah, you were really trying to connect more with families, and so what we've done is put together a pretty robust promotional schedule. We're going to have bobbleheads for kids 14 and under. We're going to have a James Laurinaitis bobblehead against the Seahawks, and then we're going to have a Sam Bradford bobblehead against the Vikings.
Okay, who designs the bobbleheads? That's what I'm trying to.
It's a collaborative effort.
You don't like yours, Mark,
no,
in the past?
I don't like my bobblehead.
Third down, ball tipped to the line, almost picked off. Brian Quick had to go through his hands, and Stanford route was there. The rookie Don Terry Poe, I believe, knocked it out. Marshall, at Rams Park, there is a 3-foot bobblehead of you. I found it a couple of weeks ago.
I know, you sent me the picture.
Yeah. You didn't like it?
Actually, you tweeted the picture.
I tweeted the photo. Did I cross a line?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But, you know, like, I just switched that, like, they let the players, like, okay, this is the picture we're going to use for your bobblehead.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. We actually showed it to James.
See, I didn't get that. I didn't get that. Who picked my picture?
Brian Killington joins us,
not.
the VP of Marketing and Brand Strategy for the Rams. Here's a punt to Javier Arenas off the foot of Hecker. Arenas, a couple of dance moves. Nowhere to go, though. Britton Miller, the fullback, brings him down. Brian, stick around for a couple of seconds.
Sure thing.
All right, Chiefs football. When we return, Rams have the lead, 14-7. I think I might keep this mustache on a little bit.
Keeping mine on.
All right, you gonna keep it on?
Yep.
All right, at the Edward Jones Dome. On top of the Chiefs, 14-7. Here's a good one for you, fans. You can choose 3 of your favorite Rams home games this year and create your very own flex plan. They start as low as $120. Go to stlouisrams.com or 314-RAMS-TICKS to hook it up today. 14-7. Rams have the lead. Matt Castle is still in there. And he gives to Peyton Hillis, gets a gain of 1 to the 46. Brian Killington joins us here in the booth. He is the VP of Marketing for the Rams. We are wearing the Jeff Fisher mustache. Marshall is wearing one as well. Ross is wearing one back here, as is Brian. You can get one week number 2 for the home opener with RG3. Here is the real Jeff Fisher mustache. Brian, I give you credit. You added the gray. This is realistic.
Had the salt and peppered up.
Yeah?
I don't know. There's a lot of salt in here. Not much pepper. I got to let Jeff know.
Salt.
Talk to Jeff about that. We might have to get him a Just for Men deal.
With a little pepper here on the 46-yard line. Shane Drone now flexes out to the right as Castle works out of the shotgun on second down. All kinds of time. Steps up. Flag is out. And Sims pulls him down around the 50-yard line.
Man, that's great work right there. I mean, Sims, good hand movement. He drew the holding. Drew the holding call.
See what Matt Nix has to say. Eugene Sims, the tackle.
Number 76 on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Remains second down.
Brian, when we have you here, we showed you the flex plan before. Tell me some more about some of these ticket plans coming up.
You know, we want to make it as affordable as possible for fans of all ages. And so the flex plan is a chance to really customize your own ticket plan. Pick any 3 of your favorite games. You can build them around the promotional items, and you get them as low as $120.
That is a great ticket plan. Get in the game, get in the building, see your Rams. Flex plans, 3 games there. And again, 314-RAMS-TICKS, the phone number, or go to the website as well. Flag is out again as Castle checks down to his tight end, Tony Moiaki. Gets to the 41-yard line. Jolon Dunbar, who looks to be the favorite at weak side linebacker, makes the tackle.
I just like the activity at linebacker that I see right now. I mean, you know, last year we were talking about the competition outside of Laurinaitis, who the other guys were going to be. And I'm going to tell you, listen, Jolon Dunbar is saying, I'm your guy this year. You can count on me.
Brandon Albert pleading his case to the referee, Matt Nix, but that flag has been thrown. And here's the call.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 76 on the offense. Remains second down.
So back him up after the penalty, the personal foul on Brandon Albert. Now, Matt, Brian, what was the process like? You go to Coach Fisher and say, we want to use your mustache as a promotion.
You know, he was pretty excited about it. You know, Coach Fisher's been tremendous for us, and so he's really innovative. and has a lot of fun. And so he's all open to it, and we're excited to get behind it.
And again, I mentioned it is realistic, certainly. 2nd and 34 now for Kansas City. They will keep it on the ground. That is Shane Drone, the former Carolina running back, who had certainly a good night last week. A practice squad guy in 11, pulled down by the rookie safety, Rodney McLeod. Could see maybe 20 carries from Shane Drone if the day is going to be done for Jamal Charles and Peyton Hillis.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like I have a push room on my lip.
Yeah? You going to keep it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to grow one.
Now, here's the ultimate test.
It might take me a year, but I'm going to grow one.
Here's the ultimate test. It's difficult for us to walk through the stands here. Obviously, Marshall Faulk, Hall of Famer. Everyone wants a picture and an autograph. If you wore the mustache, here 3rd down for Castle, throws it over the middle, Drone drops it. If you wore the mustache, could you sneak incognito through the stands?
I don't know. I don't know if I get more attention because of it or less. I'm not sure, but I don't know how, Jeff. This is a lot.
It takes some getting used to.
This is a lot, man.
And again, it will soon become the #1 must-have accessory in St. Louis. The Jeff Fisher mustache. All fans, every fan, not just adults, not just kids, every fan for the home opener on the 16th in the regular season against the Redskins will get the mustache. Here is Janoris Jenkins. Ooh, and he gets twisted down awkwardly. Let's hope he's okay. Jaleel Brown there on the coverage. He gets up. That's a good sign. Brian Killingsworth, VP of Marketing for the Rams. Mustaches and everything. Brian, thanks for being here.
Great job. Great job. This is a great idea.
Appreciate it.
14-7. Rams over the Chiefs. Second quarter action straight ahead. Wearing his Rams cap. It's a 14-7 lead after Bradford threw a couple of touchdowns. Is that guy maybe tweeting the booth? You can do so. Hashtag RamsBooth. Marshall, Ross, yours truly up here in the booth, no longer donning Jeff Fisher mustaches. Maybe they're tweeting.
We want good questions,
We too want Jeff Fisher mustaches. Yes, good questions, please.
Good questions.
From you down there, tweet us. Kellen Clemens looks off one receiver, throws over the middle. Incomplete on his second look, 2nd and 10.
Marshall, let's talk a little bit about the Rams' strategy here. I mean, they went to the twos pretty early, and if you look at the Chiefs, they still have the starters out there. It's interesting. It's almost like the Chiefs are trying to get their starters more work while the Rams want to see the twos. What do you think of that?
I think Romeo Crennel was a little disappointed at how the Rams came out and opened up on his defense. Defensive-minded head coach. The Rams moved the football. He wants them to go out on a positive note, not how they went out with the Rams moving the football down the field like they did.
Rams with the entire second-string offense in, including Jason Smith at right tackle. That's the rookie Chris Givens. Nice catch on his knees and a first down to the 27.
Man, I mean, this is a great route. You know, we talk about young guy. You find a soft spot in the zone. Chris Givens, great protection. Kellen throws a strike and he makes the catch. Pushes up on the DB, driving him off, snap it around, get your footing. Nice catch, nice grab.
And this is a good sign for the Rams if their twos can move it on the Chiefs' ones. Their twos on defense just stopped the Chiefs' starters offensively on the previous series.
Givens ran a 4.41 at the combine. Some people say they clocked him at a 4.37 as well. Couldn't show the speed there, nor can Isaiah Peed. Second-round draft pick out of Cincinnati. He gets stood up. You mentioned the first teamers are in there. That's Tamba Hali.
And this is one of those runs where you just got to know when to say when. Isaiah P., you're trying to make something happen. The play is slow to develop. Hey, put your foot in the ground, get as many yards as you can, as close as you can, back to the line of scrimmage. And these are the things that you're going to learn. This is the NFL. This is not college. You're not going to reverse field and make a lot of plays. I mean, take what they give you.
And the result there is a loss of 9, so it's a big loss. Back them up, 2nd and 19. The yardage Chris Givens got pretty much erased there as Clemens will now work from under center. Under 5 minutes remaining, second quarter. Clemens throws back foot over the middle. That's Brian Quick, the other rookie receiver, 33rd overall pick.
And I think, Marshall, you made a really good point there. He lost 9 yards on that run. You know, that's a run where maybe you lose 2 or 3 as we take a look at Kellen Clemens just throwing the ball in a little crossing pattern to Brian Quick. But talking about the Isaiah Peed run, I don't think people realize sometimes just getting back to the line of scrimmage is a great run. Nobody ever talks about that.
It's called hidden yards. You know, those yards where you get the ball, when you get hit in the backfield and you get the ball back to the line of scrimmage to keep it down in distance at a safe and manageable possession, those are hidden yards. And as he becomes a pro, he will learn that trait. He will learn that. He will watch Steven and watch Steven fight to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Sets up a 3rd and long. Clemens under pressure, ducks out of it. He may run. He will. He could have a first down. Kellen Clemens across the 45, tumbling down to the 47.
Man, and look, Kellen Clemens last week in Indianapolis didn't have a great start. Didn't move the ball much. He watched the guy playing behind him, Austin Davis, run around with the football, extend some plays with his legs. And Jeff Fisher told us that number 2 spot is not guaranteed to Clemens. And you see Clemens active, throwing the football down the field, getting first downs with his legs.
He outran Dontari Poe there.
He better outrun Dontari Poe. I'll tell you that.
It gets
That's a big
22.
man.
They move it back a yard to the 46. Givens now in motion. Obi Mahaley is the fullback. It's a play fake and a throw to Givens. Givens leaked out, and Givens gets it across midfield. He gets to the 40, first down yardage, gain of 14. Jaquez Reeves with the tackle.
Well, I'm not a wide receiver expert, but I like this Chris Givens. You watch the tape last week, he took the top off the defense twice. Now we've seen him catch a couple underneath passes here. I mean, I don't know how this guy went as late as he did in the draft. He looks like he can do it all so far, Mark.
He's just fast. He gained 10 yards. He's just fast. Let's just say that. And we're watching him catch the football. Most fast guys struggle to catch the football once they come to the NFL, and we watched him make some catches.
And this is against a mix and match here, Kansas City front. There's some first-team guys in there. Dontari Poe, though, second-team defensive tackle. We saw him the first-round pick. Again, nowhere to go for Isaiah P. This time, though, he stays near the line.
Much better job. Much better job. Right now, against the run, Kansas City, and most of their ones are still in there with the front 7. They've buckled down. Listen, we're not giving up these huge chunks in the run game. They're fitting to the run game. They're winning the line of scrimmage. Isaiah P's job right now is to not lose yards.
Amon Gordon there to lead the charge. No gain. 2nd and 10. Clock winding down towards the 2-minute warning here in the second quarter. That's Pettis in motion for the Rams. Clemens, though, will hand it off. Again, not much way or not much room to run here for Isaiah Pete, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Rams on top of the Chiefs, 14-7. For the Rams across midfield plus territory. They're driving. Back with more after this. 14-7. The Rams, though, driving into Kansas City territory, facing a 3rd and 9. We asked you to tweet us, #RamsBooth. Guys, who is the highest projected Rams receiver when it comes to yards this year? Here's what we saw last week. Pettis, 3 catches. You also had Givens for 3. Steve Smith there for 3 as well. What do we think?
Oh, I'm going Danny Amendola. If I had to put it on somebody, I'm going the guy you just saw right there, Danny.
Who had 85 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm going to go Givens.
Really?
I love it. I love it.
Listen, I believe what Amendola does underneath, the deep ball, I mean, it's going to be there. It is going to be there.
There's a completion to the other rookie, not Givens, but Quick. That's not enough for the first down. Stanford route on the tackle. It's going to be 4th down. Let's see what they do.
Well, they got Greg the leg.
They do have.
We know
Greg
he can kick it from here if they want to try the operation on a long field goal.
Let's see. I mean, Fisher has already let us know what type of coach he is, and he's sending a message to the fans. Like, listen, we're not afraid to go for it.
I think they're going to call timeout with the second left and discuss it because Kellen Clemens isn't even talking to the guys in the huddle.
Listen,
Play clock's winding
I thought
down.
that last week.
Well, Fisher's waiting there by the referee. Let's see. He went for it on 4th down. There it is. There's the timeout. Went for it on a 4th down last week. Went for it on a 4th down. Remember, early on here in the first quarter. And here comes Greg the leg. Although I was told, Marshall, before the game, Greg Zierlein, the rookie kicker, who some think has a range as long as 64. His initials are what? GZ, Greg Zierlein. I was told that his nickname at Rams Park is Young GZ. You like that?
Okay, I like that.
Young GZ. 6th round pick out of Missouri Western. He has ridiculous range. A couple of weeks ago here at the Edward Jones Dome, in a scrimmage, he was hitting them from 58. When it comes to special teams time at practice, everyone stops to watch.
Are we putting the pressure on him? Are we hyping him up right now?
I don't want
Does he have to make this kick? I mean, are we hyping him up?
There's more people here than there were in any Division II games last year. I can tell you that much right now.
Never played in front of more than 6,000 people, he estimates. This is a 52-yard try for the rookie Greg Zuerlein. It clearly has the distance.
Wow.
And it's good.
Wow. That was a chip shot for him.
It looked like
I mean, I'm serious. I've only seen Sebastian Janikowski make that looked like a chip shot. I mean, that looked like a chip shot.
That definitely, distance-wise, would have been good from 60. I don't know if it would have gotten inside the right upright, but
the ball was still going up when it hit the net.
But Marshall, your point is, it didn't look like he put a lot of effort into it. He just swung the leg through.
Exactly. I mean, and the only kicker that I've seen do that, I mean, is Sebastian Janikowski make it look that easy.
It's really interesting to me when you look at the league. There's a lot of teams that have $3 and $4 million a year place kickers now, and then the other half have rookies like Greg Zuerlein. I mean, you either have a guy you're paying the minimum, or you're paying a guy $3 or $4 million, which I don't know if I'd ever do. That's dangerous because sometimes those guys lose it.
Well, it depends. Like, you have to remember, like, how many playoff games did the Indianapolis Colts lose before they decided we need Adam Vinatieri? You know, it depends on what it costs you. Then you feel like we need a guy that's reliable.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, kickers, you can find one, and it looks like young Jeezy. We found a young Jeezy.
Hey, the Rams might have a solid punter and a solid kicker this year.
Both rookies.
For not a whole lot against the salary cap. That matters. That's all part of this puzzle.
Johnny Hekker is that solid punter, and with the release yesterday of Tom Malone, it looks like the Rams will have 2 rookies, 1 kicking and 1 punting. There's a knee by Javier Arenas.
And this is what I like about this. The kick, like, he kicked the ball with enough height, but kept it in because we want to see the return. And that's how you entice guys to bring the football out, and then you pin them inside the 20.
Hey guys, speaking of the rookies and kids, sign up your kids for the all-new Rams Kids Club. All kids who are part of the club receive their very own Rampage bobblehead, mini football, and much more. Members also get access to exclusive events with Rams players and cheerleaders, including an opportunity to get on the field on game day. StLouisRams.com for more information. Castle is still in there for Kansas City, and he dumps it down to Drone, who gets across the 30 to the 32 as the clock winds down towards a minute.
I think that the Chiefs decided before this game even started that these guys might play a half. Either that, or maybe they just want to see Castle in a live 2-minute situation.
So you're saying this isn't punishment? Or it might be?
I don't know.
I think it's the lack of action that they had on offense in the first quarter. We dominated the time of possession in the first quarter, and then their defense didn't do so well. That's why they're still out there. So, I mean, Romeo Crennel, he wants to see his team play.
Kevin Boss for 8 to the 40. Castle over the head of Boss this time, and the clock is going to stop at 28. To that point, Marshall, remember the first drive for Kansas City lasted only 2 plays.
Exactly, and they didn't have much play, but this is great for Jeff Fisher, Les Snead. They're getting to see their twos against some one talent. You're getting
Conrad,
to really evaluate
Hayes, Sims, Cujo, all those guys.
Yes, you're getting to evaluate some guys against I mean, this offensive line pretty much. I mean, I think 3 or 4 of those guys, they went to the playoffs 2 years ago.
Yep.
They won the AFC West. So
Drone again. He's got first down yardage, one of the few starters in there. Matter of fact, by my vantage point, the only starter in there on defense. Craig Dahl makes the tackle on the 49, and a timeout's been taken. Kansas City's 3rd and final timeout by my count with 19 seconds remaining. Romeo Crennel in his first full season as head coach of the Chiefs came on last year when Todd Haley was fired on an interim basis. Former coach of the Cleveland Browns. Almost took them to the playoffs in 2007. They were a 10-win team but did not get in. Romeo, I think it's fair to say the players like him. They want to do well for him. They enjoy playing for him. Handed Green Bay last year its first loss of the season down the stretch, and only loss of the season. Scott Pioli, the GM, said it's just a different atmosphere in the building. It was no secret that he and Haley didn't get along.
I just hope, it's like the backup quarterback who gets the starting job. You play well for him, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
And I hope that they continue to play for Romeo, because Romeo's a good man. He's a great coach. Listen, Peyton Manning hated when that guy was the D coordinator up at New England. And teams found out last year playing the Chiefs defensively.
Offsides on the defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Yeah, I played for Romeo in 2006 with the Cleveland Browns, and he's a really soft-spoken guy. And as you see the penalties so far today, pretty even. But the guys all like him. You know,
Yes.
you wonder sometimes if maybe they all like him too much. But so far last year, they liked him enough, as you pointed out, Marshall, that they played well enough that he got the job. So I'm with you. Let's see if they continue to play that way for him, because they want him to be the head coach here.
Here's Kevin Boss with another catch, and he's going to get out of bounds and stop the clock with 12 seconds remaining, just shy of the Rams. 26. KC, remembers, out of timeouts.
And right there, I mean, I'm sure Jeff's going to listen, guys. We got to keep him in bounds.
Yes.
We keep him in bounds. We make them use it down to try to spike it. Time runs off the clock. But now they get to stop the clock, and they get, with no timeouts, they get to play here.
5 plays on this drive, 49 yards. Rams with the second string defense in there. At least most of it. Craig Dahl is still on the field. Castle on the ones. Castle is going to throw it up. Jonathan Baldwin, jump ball, didn't get it. Incomplete. Gordy on the coverage. 7 seconds left.
Good coverage by Gordy. I mean, there was a lot of hand fighting going on there, but if there's hand fighting going on, Marshall, you ran routes. I mean, usually you don't call anything. Look, Baldwin started it. I think that's just good coverage.
He did. And I mean, listen, you got to think about how tall Baldwin is. You know, you got a 6'4" guy going against a 5. You're giving up a lot right there, but you stay physical and you do what you got to do and make sure he doesn't catch the football.
44-yard try for Ryan Suckup. So with 7
My favorite
seconds
kicker
remaining.
name. I don't know. Jeezy maybe took him, though.
You like that? So we have young Jeezy Greg Zuerlein in one corner. Ryan Suckup, the former Mr. Irrelevant, in the other corner. And Mr. Irrelevant nails it. So Kansas City pulls to within a touchdown, 17-10 with 3 seconds remaining. So the Rams give up, at least to the Chiefs' first-team offense, some yardage, and give up 3 points here before the break. Coming up, some key dates to remember here on your calendar, your Rams calendar, hopefully hanging on your refrigerator. The season opener is on the road at Ford Field against the Lions on the 9th. And then, as mentioned, you too can get a Jeff Fisher mustache and CRG3 and the Washington Redskins. First home game here, week 2, is on the 16th. A trip to London. London calling against the Patriots a couple of days before Halloween. And then the bye week is week 9. Primetime, Marshall, you're coming back here as well for the Arizona game.
I'm going to be at the London game. I'll be in London.
I'm going to be there too. I didn't know you were going to be there.
And I'll be here for the primetime game. So a lot of Rams football for me this year during the regular season.
Are you going to take the picture with Big Ben in Parliament and all that?
I did that last year. I did that last year.
All right, so 3 seconds remaining. Coming up, we'll speak to that man at the half. Maurice Drummond waiting on the sideline to talk to Jeff Fisher.
And this is a special situation. You see Fisher still coaching, because this will happen during the regular season. 3 seconds left. Be aware for the squib. You know, he wants everybody to know how you handle these sort of situations.
Chase Reynolds is the return man, 3rd guy we've seen deep to return for the Rams today. And it's a squib taken by the upback. Not going to be Chase Reynolds. Instead, that's Bernie across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and that is going to wind down the clock. 17-10. Quite different a first half tonight than we had a week ago when the Rams were down big on the road in Indy against the Colts and ended up getting beaten 38-3. Here they're leading 17-10 thanks to a couple of early Sam Bradford touchdown tosses, one of them to Lance Kendricks on the first drive of the game and the other one to Danny Amendola. That came after a Baldwin fumble forced by Janoris Jenkins and recovered by Craig Dahl. So Bradford, whose day is done, heads to the locker room. Before Jeff Fisher heads to the locker room, he's talking to Maurice Drummond, brought to you by Edward Jones, making sense of investing. And our halftime interview, FaceTime, Maurice.
All right, Andrew, thanks a lot. Here with the head coach, Jeff Fisher, and coach. No touchdowns last week in Indy, but you got a couple strikes to play your offense.
Well, you know, as we said all week, we've added some things, and, you know, Sam made a couple great throws. The first one to Danny was huge, and, you know, running the ball, you know, it's going to make a difference. So pleased with what they did. You know, overall, the starters, defense did a nice job. they've kept their starters in now, we don't, and a little disappointed in allowing them to convert a 3rd and 15. You can't do that. You get off the field, and had a field position change on the long punt, but a lot of things to clean up. But by and large, I'm pleased we got some points.
How about the play of the offensive line? You feel like there's some meshing going on? Jackson was able to spring a couple times.
Yeah, they're going to be fine up front from a run game standpoint. They're playing hard. That's a physical defense, but we got the job done. So we'll look at the tape and we'll have more for you tomorrow.
All right, we'll see you in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, that's the head coach. Back up to you, Andrew.
All right, Maurice, thank you. That's FaceTime with Jeff Fisher. Rams leading as we head to the break. Sam Bradford played well. The defense played well. Rams on top of the Chiefs, 17-10. Halftime festivities, highlight stats, all of that coming up. Jones, making sense of investing. Also brought to you by Bud Light Port Paradise Music Festival, and by Bomarito Automotive Group, where Price sells cars. The sun has gone down. The moon has come out tonight here outside the Edward Jones Dome, where the Rams and Brian Schottenheimer, the new offensive coordinator, have that offense clicking early. Defense not too bad either. 17-10. It's the Rams on top of the Chiefs as we get set to start the 3rd quarter of preseason week number 2. Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk, Ross Tucker, I'm Andrew Siciliano. Gentlemen, we said it before, going to break. It cannot be more different today, Marshall, as it was a couple of weeks last week, right?
Night and day. We shouldn't even mention the Coke game. We'll stay right here.
Let's forget about it.
The fast start, the activity on defense, even special teams, the tackles that they're making. It took for Kansas City to leave their ones in against the twos in the 2nd quarter for them to kind of get it going.
All right, so here we go on the kickoff here. 3rd quarter is underway. Devin Wiley, the 4th-round pick. He is a Wiley rookie there on the return, and he's going to bring it back to the 19-yard line for Kansas City. Sammy Brown, the rookie linebacker out of Houston, there to make the tackle. Wiley, I'm guessing, is going to stay and get some good run here in the 2nd half. We'll see more of the rookie later. Here, though, we're going to see Ricky Stanzi as our number 2 quarterback. We saw him last year when we traveled to Arrowhead, 2-7 at Iowa, 42 yards and a little bit of action last week against Arizona.
And this is interesting that he's coming in with the 2s ahead of Brady Quinn. They wanted this week to get a chance to see Ricky Stanzi with the 2s in front of the veteran Brady Quinn.
And Stanzi's going to keep it on the ground, and that is Drone with the carry. Doesn't get much. Matter of fact, loses a yard or 2 with Josh Hull, Rams' 2nd-string defense, in there leading the charge.
Let's take a look at this play. I mean, let's watch McIntyre. I mean, Rocky does a great job of sifting it out, finds the play. Did a great job as a linebacker. You have to fight through the debris. I mean, that's heads up right there. Hall's there too. That's what you want out of your backup linebackers. You got to fight through the debris, get to the ball carrier, stop him.
And mentioned we might see about 20 carries from Sean Drone tonight. He carried the ball extensively last week, had 12 carries. This is Terrence Copper. That's knocked into the air, and that's an interception. Picked off. Matthew Conrad, the rookie, undrafted free agent out of Virginia with a pick.
And they are high on him. 6'7", 290. He's done some very good things so far in camp. This is just good fortune, but it might have started with him getting his hands up, but that's trailing the play. It goes right to him. I'm laughing because, guys like us, we don't get a chance to get the ball very often.
Listen,
big guys, I love it.
And we're talking to Jeff Fisher, and I'm raving about Janoris Jenkins. He said, listen, Tremaine Johnson had 4 tackles. This kid will stick his head in there. If they throw the ball at him, he'll make a play. And right there, we saw the play being made. Big man with the ball, but you get your hand in there, and that allows the big man to have the ball. I talked about those ball drills that everybody's doing ball drills. Ball drills used to be for maybe linebackers, DBs. On defense, D linemen doing ball drills now.
And Conrad, the recipient of it there with the pick. Tremaine Johnson, the big hit to force it. Time out on the field taken by the Rams. 17-10, about a minute into the 3rd quarter. A 2-play drive to start the quarter for the Chiefs. In the 1st quarter, Jonathan Baldwin fumble leads to a Rams touchdown. Here, it's an interception. Matt Conrad picks off the deflection, picks off Ricky Stanzi. Sudden change again. Johnson had the hit.
It's just heads-up football. I mean, Tremaine Johnson, Like I said, Jeff Fisher raved about this kid, raved about his talent. And they're excited about him just as well as Janoris Jenkins.
Jermaine Johnson actually played with Brandon Fisher, also now a Rams assistant, Jeff Fisher's son, at Montana. So Jeff Fisher got to see him in person quite a bit. Little pump fake. Kellen Clemens takes a couple of steps back, dumps it off over the middle. Doesn't get much. Isaiah Peed.
Listen, that right there, that's you go to the first read, you go to your second read, you get to your check down. You get to your check down a little quicker. Maybe you will allow Isaiah Peed to maybe make some progress with the football.
Yeah, by the time he threw it to him, the guy was right on him. This is a big series right here for Kellen Clemens and the Rams offense. You can't get the ball inside the 20 and not punch it in.
Abe Elam, the veteran safety, there on the tackle. Rams fake the end around and hand it off to Peed right up the gut, and he's not getting much there, maybe a yard.
Yeah, to Marshall, to me, it doesn't look like Isaiah's hitting it like I saw him hit it in Cincinnati. I saw him be the Big East Offensive Player of the Year, but it just seems like he's a little bit tentative right now.
Someone needs to pull him aside and have the conversation with him. Listen, fumbles happen in this league. You're going to turn the football over. If you handle the ball as much as a running back does in this league, things are going to happen. Last week I saw an explosive guy trying to make things happen, maybe moving a little bit too fast. I see the exact opposite this week.
An abundance of caution maybe, and it results in some tentative play, and it leads here to a 3rd and 9. Clemens shotgun over the middle. It's a catch. Greg Salas trying to fight for the first down. See what the forward progress is at the 10. He's going to be shy, about 2 yards shy. And again, it's Elam on the tackle.
You know, sometimes you want to take what the defense give you. But I believe if you're Kellen Clemens, listen, and I don't know if he watched last week's game.
Austin Davis.
But Austin Davis made some things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to press it, but get the ball in the end zone. Or maybe they already had the idea, listen, we're going for it on 4th down.
Well, it is 4th down, and they will go for it. It is Peed in the backfield, the single setback, and Clemens will work from under center. Short drop, slant, caught, quick, wrestles his way. Is he in? No, he's down 6 inches. Now he's in. Delayed call. Touchdown, Brian Quick.
And what I like about this play, Clemens, just a quick drop, a nice little dart route by Brian Quick, but the size of the receiver makes the play hard for the defender to go through him. Jaquez Reeves, he's there, but such a big body, and Brian Quick, you can't go through him.
And that one might be overturned. You know, they're going to look at every scoring play. They look at it up in the booth first. And there you go.
It was a tentative call. Tentative. Took a while to put the hands up on the Brian Quick touchdown. Torrey Holt and Aeneas Williams, among others, were in this week working with the Rams. Good to have some of the veterans back, some of the older guys. And Torrey Holt said number one thing Brian Quick needs to learn to do is work with his size. Use his size. That's why they drafted him at 33rd overall. That time, he did it. Touchdown being reviewed. Coming back here, 3rd quarter. On top of the Chiefs, 11:54 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Brian Quick got into the end zone. That was the ruling on the field by our referee, Richard Matt Nix. However, all touchdowns, all scoring plays are reviewed, so they're taking another look at it. Guys, we looked at it 3 or 4 times during the break. I don't know if I can tell. Ruling on the field is, again, a touchdown. They have to see enough to overturn the touchdown.
Well, before we went to break, I saw it a couple of times and thought he was not in. There's no way. But then when we saw the slow-mo and you really look, it's close, Marshall.
It is. And, I'm sitting up here. I saw it happen. I trust my eyes. I was like, man, that didn't look like. But you see the replay and the official, they made a good call.
Let's see.
After further review, the pass is short of the goal line. It will be 1st and goal. The ball will be placed at the half-yard line. The clock will start on the ready.
And I'm not going to say this is a positive, but I want to see Isaiah Peed run this ball in the end zone right here. They're on the 3-inch line. I mean, maybe a quarterback sneak, but I'd love to see the 2nd-round pick hit it up in there and get a touchdown for his confidence, Mark.
Well, you might get your wish. In comes the fullback. I mean, you put a fullback in, usually that means the ball is going to the halfback.
Ovi Mihaly, the former Atlanta Falcon, former Raven, former Pro Bowler, signed a couple of weeks ago, is in the game at fullback, working with the second team. Britt Miller started. Kellen Clemens looks to the sideline, breaks the huddle at 9. Have to hurry here. Peed again, the single setback. Motion from Pettis. It's going to be Isaiah Peed. He leaps, he flips, he's in. Touchdown.
And that's just winning the line of scrimmage right there. I mean, that right there. I like the suddenness to get up to the line of scrimmage and go quick. Go on the quick count. Look, Ovi Mahaley does a great job. Great kick-out block there. And oh yes, if you were wondering, Isaiah Peed can jump.
Yeah, that looked easy, didn't it? He could have just run it. He didn't even need to jump there. There's a big hole there to the right. Look at the hole to the right. I mean, he could have just waltzed in.
He stuck the dismount too. Stuck the landing. 5 plays, 18 yards after the Conrath interception off the deflection of Castle. Zerline's extra point is up, and it is good. Special guest coming up. Governor Nixon is in the booth. The Governor's Cup is on the line. 24-10. Rams on top of the Chiefs after Isaiah Peed flips into the end zone at the Edward Jones Dome. Rams on top of the Chiefs. That last touchdown set up by that guy, Tremaine Johnson. He is one of the Rams rookies that you need to watch. We'll tell you a little bit about him, a little more about Tremaine Johnson out of Montana coming up in a couple of seconds. Big hit that forced the interception. Matt Conrath, also a rookie, undrafted though, out of Virginia, had the interception and led to Isaiah Peed with the touchdown. So 3 rookies doing their job on that drive as another one kicks off. And here's Mikhail Baker set to return. Good head of speed, but he gets knocked down across the 20-yard line. It's Chase Reynolds, always good on special teams, down there with the hit. 11:22 remaining in the third. Here's, as mentioned, Tremaine Johnson, a Rams rookie to watch, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Host your fantasy football draft party at Buffalo Wild Wings.
And then, look, does a great job getting involved, getting his hand in there. This kid, I mean, he's long. 6'2", 204-pound rookie out of Montana, has all the intangibles. 15 career interceptions, holds a scuba, 36 passes deflected. That's 2-time All-American, All-Big Sky. The kid is a talent. You just got to get him NFL ready.
He could play safety at one point. Here's Ricky Stanzi into the game at quarterback. His second series, first one only lasted 2 plays. They're going to run around right end, and that's Sean Drone again. It is a pleasure to have, for the second straight year in our booth, the Governor, Mr. Jay Nixon. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. Very competitive game tonight. Good to see the Rams playing well.
And the Governor's Cup on the line, so it has special meaning, and you are a Rams fan. Are you allowed to say who you're rooting for?
Well, at least during the game, I'm not supposed to. But
right.
My dad called me on the way here and said, keep it in St. Louis.
There you go. Your dad's a good man.
13-8. The Rams have the edge in the preseason over the Chiefs. That's Terrence Copper in motion. This is 2nd and 3, and it's Drone again, and he's pulled down in the backfield. 93, Jamel Kudjoe there with the tackle. You actually, Governor, had a chance to go out to Rams Park, visit with Jeff Fisher a couple of weeks ago. What'd you say?
Well, first of all, I saw great energy out there. I mean, it's nice to have a coach who's been a winner in the league, knows what it takes to get from point A to point B. And I was very impressed by the intensity of the practice and the depth of the coaching staff.
Hey, tell me just about how great it is to have 2 teams competitive. The Governor's Cup, I remember playing this game. So much fun. In-state rival.
Well, I mean, Missourians talk about it a lot. Between the Chiefs and the Rams and the Cardinals and the Royals, it's a great friendly rivalry that folks talk about all year. I mean, I know it's a preseason game, but lots of folks talking about the year coming up. It's been a positive tradition here for many, many years.
Nothing friendly there. Kudjoe and Sims in on the sack of Stanzi, and it's going to be a punt as Isaiah Peed goes back to return it.
Just effort. I mean, just that's effort right there. That's a pass rush. And now we're seeing what we saw from our ones versus their ones now that they have their 2s in. We're dominating up front. We're dominating on the back end. It's good to see the Rams get after the Chiefs.
Curious to see Isaiah Peed here in the return game if he gets a chance. Scored the Rams' last touchdown. Takes a bounce near the sideline. He fields it. He's going to try to get to the outside. Cuts it back at the 20. He's going to be an exciting player. Don't know if all that movement is going to amount to much, but he did get a couple of yards out there to the 24-yard line. Now I'm told, Governor Nixon, that the Governor's Cup was banged up a bit.
It's been over 22 years old. It's been traded between St. Louis Cardinals, obviously, and Kansas City Chiefs, Rams, and Chiefs. It's taken a few hits over the years. I was glad that the Rams fixed it up this year. The Rams this year tightened it up, shined it up. It's in much better shape than when it got here a year ago.
And the Rams trying to sip from said Governor's Cup later on tonight. Austin Davis, who we saw a lot of last week in Indianapolis, the rookie. And he looked good last week. Undrafted rookie out of Southern Mississippi, broke many of Brett Favre's records, is now in there. And he's going to hand it off. This is a nice run. Picks up first down yardage. That is Daryl Richardson, the number 3 tailback in there, a fellow rookie, 7th round pick out of Abilene Christian. Here's Austin Davis last week. Active, Marshall. Moved around.
Yeah, yes, he was. And what you'll see here, the ball comes out of his hand. He has a live arm. I mean, it looks like a bit of a windup, but the ball travels down the field. But what I like most is when nothing's there, he can throw the ball on the run. He'll make plays. He can get out of the pocket, remain a passer, throw the football downfield. He understands the game and has a great feel for it.
And here he hands it off again. Richardson with a head of steam. He gets across the 35, and that's a first down to the 37. Governor, last May, Joplin, the tornado, there has been such an effort from both communities, whether it's St. Louis here in the Rams or Kansas City with the Chiefs as well, to help get in there, get your hands dirty, rebuild Joplin. And you are doing the Governor's Joplin Challenge with Habitat for Humanity. Tell me about that.
First of all, we thank the Rams and the Chiefs for sending folks down, players down, building, literally working, and helping us rebuild that town that lost 7,500 homes in a tornado last May.
And not only the Rams, as you mentioned, the Chiefs. And I guess the thing to really get through to people is there's still so much work to be done.
There really is, but I will have to tell you, the professional teams being down there helping has really picked up the volunteers even after they leave. It makes such a huge difference. And this organization here leading the way and making 2 trips down there already, 3 houses almost completed. It's just very impressive. As we rebuild Joplin, the Rams can be very proud of their efforts. The Chiefs obviously also have been very helpful.
And we saw some of those Rams rookies at halftime, their efforts recently to get to Joplin. You can find out more at both teams' websites, Rams website being stlouisrams.com. Here is one of those rookies, Daryl Richardson, running just shy of the 50-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and short, maybe 3rd and about a yard. Now, if you do present the Governor's Cup to Jeff Fisher later on today, considering it's a new coach, a new era, where would that rank on your personal moments?
I hope that my life is not measured by anything in the preseason, but ultimately my goal is to have the Chiefs and the Rams play in the Super Bowl. The rules as the Governor's Cups are it must be presented to me after the game, right. So the commissioner would have to wait for me.
Here we have a sneak by Austin Davis.
Do you think we can get the governor to wear the stash if he presents it?
No, I'm not going to do it.
Sure?
I'm sure.
Can get you to wear the stash if you present it to Jeff? No?
Now, what do you think of Marshall? I think Marshall pulls it off pretty well.
I mean, the gray is looking more natural than it would have a few years ago.
It's fitting.
Governor Jay Nixon with us in the booth. Marshall has on the Jeff Fisher mustache.
I like this.
You look good in it.
Jeff Fisher deserves this. This is. I mean, he's been a great coach in our league. Done a great job. And I love the attitude that you see on the field right now and the attitude around Rams Park.
That Jeff Fisher mustache is going to be there for every fan, young and old alike, that is here for the Rams opener, the Edward Jones Dome, coming up week number 2 against the Washington Redskins on the 16th. Here's another completion for Austin Davis. I tell you what, this one to Mike McNeil, local kid, former Rams season ticket holder. Austin Davis has made some plays, guys.
He has. And listen, putting the ball where it needs to be. I raved about him last week. I like the energy. Watch how the guys respond to him, how they get in and out of the huddle. Some quarterbacks, they just have it. When they get in the huddle, players love to play with them. And Austin Davis, he has it. Watch how he commands, get guys lined up, does all he needs to do, and then make plays.
Here we have Austin Pettis in motion. Governor Nixon with us. That's Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk. I'm Andrew Siciliano. This is Daryl Richardson around left end, and he again is going to get a first down, but there's a flag down. Marshall back on the 45.
Yeah, we might. It might be a little holding call. We might. There's never really holding. Let me explain this. Offensive linemen don't hold, but sometimes.
65 on the offense, holding. 10 yards from the spot of foul, remains second down.
So you do not think this is holding on Jose Valdez?
Well, offensive line don't really hold, but sometimes the referees, they see it that way. You know, I'm just, you know, they work in a group.
No, okay.
They used to working together, so sometimes, you know, they hug each other.
Governor, I know when you were out at Rams Park and talking to Coach Fisher a couple of weeks ago, you asked, as they attend to Brian Quick down in one knee on the 42-yard line, you asked about Denario Alexander. We unfortunately do not have Denario here, but I know as a former Tiger, you're hoping to get him back on the field soon as well. Governor
Absolutely.
Nixon.
Love to have him back on. He's a great game maker, game player. Hope he gets healthy and gets back on the field.
4-10 Sunday, September 9th. Help the Rams get back to football with a 7K run finishing right here at the Edward Jones Dome. The event's also going to include an NFL Play 60 half-mile run for kids, and a portion of the proceeds benefit the American Cancer Society Hope Lodge. For more information, stlouisrams.com. Austin Davis on second down. Play fake now. Dumps it down in and out of the hands of one Daryl Richardson. Andrew Siciliano, Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk alongside Ross Tucker standing here, and Missouri Governor Jay Nixon is here. We were talking before the break, Governor, about Denario Alexander, hoping to get him back on the field. I know he's one of your favorite Rams.
Yeah, really. Unfortunately, I, like a lot of people, have been through knee rehab with him. That's when Denario and I first got a chance to meet each other. But he's a very springy kid. If he can be healthy, he can play in this league.
Certainly. The question is, can he be healthy, and already having trouble keeping on the practice field, not on the game field, but on the practice field here in 2012. So now 7 plays, 27 yards on this drive. Austin Davis again is going to throw across his body. That's Richardson on third down. It's going to be shy, I think, of a first down, about 2 yard shy. What do you say, Governor? Go for it?
Absolutely. I mean, this quarterback is good.
He is. He listen, I'm telling you right now, he has all the intangibles. I like that when he breaks the pocket. When the pocket is broken, his eyes remain downfield. Young quarterbacks want to run. He remains the quarterback, and he's a runner. He should just take off and run.
And he looks so much better than Stancy, who played for Iowa and beat my Missouri Tigers in the last game 2 years ago.
Here we have it. They are going to go for it. Jeff Fisher has not been afraid to do that early on. Richardson hits the hole. Oh, it's going to be close. I don't think he got it. Looks to be a yard short.
Yeah, that was just a great call right there. That was a great call. Nice little cross dog stunt. Penetration in the backfield.
Turnover on downs. Governor Jay Nixon, so happy to have you here 2 years in a row here with the Governor's Cup, Rams and Chiefs. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks to all the fans for helping with the Joplin Challenge, building those houses back for the people of Joplin.
Fantastic. Governor Nixon, thank you. 24-10, Rams on top of the Chiefs. On it 3 times today, 2 for 3, turned it over on downs there, 24-10.
And this is what I like about this. This is like, you create situational football by doing this. You put your defense out there, you see how they're going to react. Can they hold them to maybe make them punt, or no less than 3,
Ricky
or no
Stanzi.
more than 3.
Sorry, Marshall, in for a third series, and again is Drone, his tailback. Gain of 2, across the 46-yard line. So again, it's Stanzi for the Chiefs playing ahead of Brady Quinn as they go no huddle.
Yeah, interesting. I think they want to get a look at Stanzi, the second-year man, going a little no huddle. I don't think you expect to see that as a defense with your 2s out there. It'll be interesting to see how the Rams D reacts to the no huddle.
Here's Stanzi over the middle. Drone. First down into Rams territory. Justin Cole, the tackle.
But I think these are the things that you hope to get these things in the preseason. This is what you want. Not only you go for it, you don't get it, you put your defense on a short field. Can they go 3 and out, or can they hold them to just a field goal? And now you got to hurry up offense going.
Well, look, there was some talk that you might get Stanzi with the first team in the second quarter. Clearly, that did not happen. Here he is with a completion to Newsome across the 35 for a first down. I'm going to assume he's going to get most, if not all, of the third quarter and well into the fourth as well. They saw Brady Quinn last week, and they know what they have.
See, right there. Listen. Jerome Murphy, he got to trust that that's what he saw. The ball was being thrown. You break on it. You make the tackle if you can't get to the football.
So again, they keep the foot on the gas and operate out of the shotgun from the 34-yard line, coming up on 3 minutes remaining. Oh, in traffic. Nice catch there. Stanzi connects with Drone to the 30.
And for a guy like Stanzi, as you take a look at this replay, just a little crossing pattern, this is how backups, young backups, become starters at some point. Think about Matt Schaub. Think about Matt Flynn. It starts with them impressing somebody on another franchise with what they do in the preseason. That's what Ricky Stanzi is trying to do. His opportunity to start may not ever be with the Kansas City Chiefs.
With all the quarterback issues last year with Castle's injury, they never did turn to Stanzi. He was active for 6 games. Oh, he gets drilled there. He did not throw a pass last year. Scott Smith off the edge brought him down. The rookie out of Texas Tech.
And that's a coverage sack right there. That's when the back end does its job, and now your rushers can loop around. And Stanzi, listen, you got to get rid of the ball. Young quarterback, you got to understand, it's that clock in your head. You have to get rid of the ball. Your line did a good job blocking. Don't give up a coverage sack.
That's a great point. A lot of times I think you can tell a lot about a quarterback, but just how quickly they get the ball out of their hands. Not acceptable by Stanzi there.
3rd and 11 now, so 3rd and long. Have to make it to the 24-yard line of the Rams for a new set of downs. Stanzi's going to step up. He may run, pump fake. He stumbles, dives. He got close, but he's going to be about a yard shy at the 25-yard line. 4th down coming up. See if Romeo Crennel keeps his offense on the field. Stanzi's not walking to the sideline, so it looks like the answer is yes.
He had a pretty good pocket, but he didn't see anything downfield that he liked. And he had an idea of where the first down was. He tried to dive for it. He wasn't able to dive quite far enough. But he, again, puts him in this situation. How many 4th downs have we seen this game? It's awesome.
Why not? Preseason. Do it. Crowd gets loud under a minute and a half remaining here in the 3rd. 4th and 1. Play clock down to 2. They call timeout? They did. Kansas City calls timeout with the play clock at 1 on 4th and 1 with 1:18 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, and the Rams on top of the Chiefs 24-10.
That first down was called by Brian Dable, the offensive coordinator. He went down there. That concerns me a little bit as well, Marshall, because Ricky Stanzi should have called that timeout.
Didn't see the clock.
He didn't see it. Dable had to call it for him.
Hey, Rams fans, don't wait and get your season tickets later. Get them right now. Season tickets on sale for as low as $225. And again, they are on sale right now. All you have to do is go to stlouisrams.com, or better yet, pick up the phone. 314-RAMS-TIX. 314-RAMS-TIX. Season tickets here for Jeff Fisher in his first season at the Edward Jones Dome. Rams on top 24-10. Fisher has gone for it 3 times on 4th down. Now his defense will be tested on a 4th down. 25-yard line, need to make it to the 24.
And this is, I want to see, are the Rams going to come out? Because I'm pretty sure that the Chiefs are going to line up in the same formation, expecting the same look. Are they going to give them the same look? Because the last look, the Rams are bringing pressure off the slot. They're bringing pressure off the open inside.
Stanzi adjusting. He'll work from under center. Drone, his only running back. He'll throw. Look left. Oh, that should be a flag. Face mask, no flag. And now he's wrestled down and that ball is out. Cole ripped him down. Rams recover. Rocky McIntosh with the recovery after Cole took it away. Thought we were going to see a flag.
That is a lot to ask of an offensive line when those guys are all just going to bull rush thinking that they're playing the run. You see the left guard get all the way pushed back. That's Jeff Allen, the 2nd rounder out of Illinois. He got pushed back all the way. And then Cole comes in, strips the ball. McIntosh is there. That could not have gone much better for the Rams.
I'll be very blunt. That should have been 15 yards personal foul for hitting the quarterback in the head. Am I wrong?
I didn't see it. I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't see it? You didn't see it either?
No, I didn't think it was that blatant. I really didn't.
2 hands to the quarterback's head?
Don't even know what you're talking about.
Right. Austin Davis has time. Throws over the middle. That's Austin Pettis. Austin to Austin. Complete at the 35.
Well, and remember, this year, Andrew, there's some discretion for the officials with a hand hitting the helmet. They don't have to automatically call it. And you see Davis here stepping up.
Just look at the touch. over the linebacker, but got the ball down, so it's not a tip drill for the receiver in traffic. That's a great throw. I mean, Austin Davis, he's pressing Kellen Clemens, I'm telling you.
Absolutely, absolutely. There was some talk of maybe getting Austin Davis into the second team. There's a bobble on the handoff. Ball is loose. Davis falls on it. Richardson was in there in the backfield.
Looked like there was a mix-up, and only because I saw the offensive line was pass blocking. Maybe he stuck the ball out and the back hit it, or he thought it was a run.
Well, and I've been impressed by Austin Davis last week and this week as well, but that's asking a lot to have him potentially be the backup for this team.
I hear you.
An undrafted rookie free agent out of Southern Mississippi.
Well, he was drafted. No, in the 31st round by the Red Sox.
Oh.
So it was baseball.
Good
drafted.
job. Good job, Andrew. Good job.
Had to get that in there. 31st round by the Red Sox.
Somebody did research.
Exactly. Somebody was working. And to 3. Rams switching sides of the field, but moving into Chiefs territory and leading here at the Edward Jones Dome 24-10. 1 quarter left. Preseason football on the Rams Broadcasting Network, brought to you by Edward Jones. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, and Jeff Fisher's team certainly makes a lot of sense today. Far more so than last week. 24-10 here, starting the 4th quarter of football, and with the football, facing a 2nd and long in Kansas City territory with a rookie that has turned some heads. Listen, he wasn't one of the 6 drafted in the top 100. He was not drafted. Southern Mississippi's Austin Davis has now, for 2 straight weeks, made some plays and moved his team down the field. 3 of 4, 37 yards, operating again, now 4 of 5. Oh, that's a nice catch. That is a nice catch, and he's still going. Mike McNeil.
Nice heads up. Listen, I keep raving about this kid, man. This is a great throw. A little behind the receiver, but he sees the breaking linebacker on the ball. But you don't get this the NFL. You don't get touched.
He wasn't touched.
You get up and you run.
And you know what's funny is the back judge came in and was about to spot the ball. You know, remember, these are replacement refs.
Mm-hmm.
The back judge, whether he does high school or college, they're down in that.
Yes.
So I don't care how much training they went over the last couple months. If you've been doing something else for 15 years, you think the guy's down. That was funny.
Mike McNeil coming back home, living with the folks. Rams season ticket holder as a kid, making a play at the Edward Jones Dome. And there the run by Daryl Richardson. Time to look at the 3rd quarter stats, brought to you by your quality Ford dealers. First downs are even, pretty much. Rams with a slight edge. Rams nearing 100 yards on the ground, now 95. Always a hallmark of a Jeff Fisher team. And total yardage, 278. 3 turnovers, also key. 2 of them have led to scores. All right, new set of downs. Rams now inside the red zone of the 18-yard line. Davis to throw, under pressure, gets it off. That's McNeil again, inside the 5.
Listen,
that might have been the most impressive thing he's done yet. He had a guy come scot-free. I know you love him, Marshall, but this is the most impressive. Look, he had a guy come scot-free, dumps it, gets it right to his guy, and McNeil to Davis. I mean, this might be the new combo here in St. Louis.
And let me tell you, that was Brandon Seiler. That's just not anybody coming free.
No, and it's not. And listen, Daryl Richardson, your quarterback just saved you. Protection issues, yes. Quarterback just saved you. That was a great play.
Richardson's in the backfield. Ben Gaduli is the fullback. Play fake. End zone. Knockdown. Incomplete.
Yeah, we need that catch right there. We need any receiver in the NFL, in college, you put 2 hands on the ball, you put 1 hand on the ball, we're expected to catch. This ball right here, that's a catchable ball. That's touchdown. Austin Pettis, that's what he's known for. He's known for having great hands. He wants that back.
Brings us to a 2nd and goal. Rams threatening. 24-10, 12:55 remaining. They're on the 4-yard line. Campbell in the game, wide receiver, number 15, split to the right. Mike Campbell, first-year player out of Temple, made a couple of catches last week. Davis, though, will hand it off to Richardson. He dives for the end zone. He is in. Touchdown, Rams. So both rookie running backs, Isaiah Peed and Daryl Richardson, have found the end zone tonight.
Watch the left guard, Watkins, pull around and knock 45 all the way at it. Get out of the club. Here I come. Look at Rock Watkins. That was awesome.
Listen, Daryl Richardson That's downhill for a little guy. There's no indecision about where he's running the football.
Richardson 5'10", 196. Rams with now 21 points off of turnovers. He was behind Rock Watkins, the rookie 6'3", 338. Clearing a lane. 31-10. Rams add to the lead. Rock Watkins out of South Carolina, the road grader, clearing room for Darrell Richardson. Another touchdown for a Rams rookie, 31-10. Rams on top of the Chiefs as we are now into the fourth quarter. The Edward Jones Dome. The day is done, it seems, one would assume, for Greg Zuerlein. And now Garrett Lindholm is on to kick. Cup of coffee with Atlanta and Indianapolis.
Can you imagine if you're the backup kicker, like how hard you want to kick this ball right here? Can you imagine? Like you're the backup kicker. They must have told him to do that.
It's a
There's
squib.
no way he'd do that, bro.
And it gets by Baker. He's going to pick it up, try to make something out of it. Nothing doing. Barely gets back to the 10. Hey, September 4th, join Jeff Fisher at the 2012 St. Louis Rams for the kickoff for charity luncheon benefiting the United Way of Greater St. Louis. For more information, go to the website, as always, stlouisrams.com, or call 314-RAMS-TIX. Ricky Stanzi out again. 21 points off turnovers for the Rams after that Richardson touchdown. Stanzi working the third quarter and now here well into the fourth as well. .45 remaining here in the fourth. And it's a handoff. Keep it on the ground. Maybe a gain of 2. You know what? Let's go down to the sideline. Danny Amendola had a touchdown earlier, standing by with Maurice Stroman.
All right, Andrew, thanks a lot. Here with Danny Amendola, was able to find the end zone. How good did it feel to score, man?
It was great. It was a good pass. We've been working on that play all camp, so it was good to get in the end zone.
It was funny watching you with the referee. I kept seeing you trying to put the arm up, man, trying to get the referee to give you the signal.
Exactly. I knew I caught it, and I just looked at the ground, and I knew I was in bounds, so it was a touchdown, so it was good.
How good does it feel to be clicking again with Sam Bradford?
Feels pretty good. We've been working all camp and all summer, and to get back out here on the field and to do good is really fun, and we're ready to go for the regular season.
You're healthy. Last year, of course, not much action. Dislocated the elbow. How do you feel physically?
I feel really good. I feel 100%. I feel my arm's strong. I feel ready to go.
And finally, you're the veteran among some of these young guys. Quick. Tell me about how the young guys, Quick and Gibbons, are coming along. Your opinion?
Very talented. Big, fast, strong guys, and they're eager to learn, eager to play, and it's good to have them around.
All right, Danny, thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, Danny Amendola, send it back up to you guys.
All right, while we're talking to Danny, Rocky McIntosh with a third down takedown on Ricky Stanzi. Punt time for the Chiefs.
And that's what it looked like. It looked like an actual takedown right there. I mean, the fullback had no chance at all of blocking him right there. Ricky Stanzi, like, bad time to go to twos. Wrong week. This is a wrong week to go to twos.
This is Chase Reynolds. He'll field it off a bounce, avoids one tackle. Not going to get very far. 45-yard line is where the Rams will start with a new quarterback when we get back. Tell you who that is in a second. Rams leading 31-10, 11 remaining fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, Rams on top of the Chiefs at the Edward Jones Dome. Here is your tweet of the week. You could always follow the Rams at St. Louis Rams. SJ39, Steven Jackson tweeted, mediocrity is not an option. Maximum potential yields maximum results. Go hard in all that you do, and you will be more than blessed. Believe. All right. We believe certainly in Austin Davis, so much so his night is done, and Tom Brandstater is now in at quarterback for the Rams. Out of Fresno State, 27 years old, bounced around a bit, hands it off here to Chase Reynolds. Got in. Brandstater did last year in one game, threw a couple of passes late in the season when Kellen Clemens got hurt.
And this is when I really like to watch preseason football, because all these guys out here are fighting for the scraps. They're fighting for the last 5 roster spots or fighting for the practice squad. So just watch the end of every play. There's guys flying around, going after legs all over the place, trying to do whatever they can to keep this uniform.
Brody Eldridge now in at tight end, one of Sam Bradford's old teammates at Oklahoma. Chase Reynolds, the ball carrier, out to the 50.
You were laughing there at the end there, Ross. You said you love people jumping on the pile at the end of the fourth quarter.
Listen, I played offensive line, and at times I was a guy that played into the second half a little bit. And hey, you got to eat, right? You got to find a way. Marshall wouldn't know like that. Marshall doesn't know how the other half lives.
That's true. And no idea. No idea.
Did you ever play in the second half of a preseason game ever?
No. And listen, these guys they're trying to make sure that when they watch the film, they said, "Look at me."
Yes.
That's what's going on right now. They're trying to make a name for themselves. They want to jump off the film. They want coaches to see. They want coaches to see them play or give that maximum effort that you saw Steven Jackson talk about in his tweet.
And it's not just coaches here, it's coaches, as we talked about last week, guys, for the other 31 teams. All these games are on TV. If you can't see them on TV, they're all online. Everyone is looking for other pieces. Who is going to get released somewhere? Some of these guys may have that fate come upon them, and some of these guys may latch on elsewhere because someone.
There is no foul on the play. The ball was tipped prior to the interference. It'll be fourth down.
All right, fourth down coming up, 31-10. Brandon Bair, B-A-I-R, got a hand on it. 4th and 5, punt time. And it's Devin Wiley, the rookie out of Fresno State, back to return. He had a 32-yard punt return last week against Arizona.
And another special situation here, for Hecker, the punter, to see if he can pin him deep. These are the things that you don't get a chance to really work on in practice because special teams aren't live.
Johnny Hecker can also throw the ball, by the way. He threw it a little bit at Oregon State. This one, though, fair catch on the 15-yard line. I wasn't joking about throwing. We could see Johnny Hecker throw a pass later in the year. Keep an eye on that. All right, 31-10, 9:43 remaining in the fourth. We were talking before, Marshall, about bobbleheads. Rams fans can come cheer on the Rams when they host the Seahawks on September 30th here at the Edward Jones Dome. And the first 10,000 kids under 14 and under, will receive a James Laurinaitis bobblehead. StLouisRams.com or 314-RAMS-TICKS to get in the building.
How are you going to get that neck on a bobblehead?
Wow.
He's got a big neck, man, and bobbleheads don't really have necks.
And you mean that as a compliment?
Of course.
Of course you do.
Ask him about it.
Brady Quinn is now into the game, and he has trouble with that snap. Gets it, throws, right side, incomplete, over the head of his wide receiver, number 8, Josh Bellamy, rookie out of Louisville.
When Brady Quinn was at Notre Dame or drafted in the first round, Marshall, did you think that he would think a couple years later, I'll be the third quarterback to come in for the Chiefs with 9 minutes left? I mean, it just goes to show you, just because you're a college star doesn't mean you can have the ultimate success in the NFL.
Right, if you think the quarterbacks that was beating him when he was at Notre Dame, none of them was named Matt Castle, and Matt was on the USC teams.
Yeah,
in those games.
It was Leinart. It was Brady Quinn against Matt Leinart, Notre Dame USC, and the best quarterback in that game didn't even play in the game, Matt Castle.
Tremaine Johnson, the tackle here, off of Nate Eachus. He is a rookie running back out of Colgate. So Brady Quinn is in the game in the fourth quarter, handing it off to Nate Eachus from Colgate.
Yeah, Eachus is from my neck of the woods.
Yes.
Eachus is from the Cole region of Pennsylvania. He's actually from Hazleton, was a high school star, then had a fantastic year at Colgate. Looks to me like the type of guy that they'd keep on practice squad, maybe.
Brady Quinn over the middle, and there is Eachus with the catch, and that ball's out. Ball's out of the 25-yard line. Rams come up with it. I think they're going to say he was down, though.
I just like the activity. I mean, the threes are in now, and the activity with the defense, it remains, and that's what you coach. You want them to be active through and through. I don't know.
Well, that was actually Rocky McIntosh who had the hit, so Rocky McIntosh is playing late into the fourth.
That's ball out.
That ball's out.
Ball out, and he's not down. They got that ball. That should be going up to the booth.
Now, again, with the turnovers, it's only automatically reviewed if it was ruled a turnover on the field. But Jeff Fisher can throw his magic red hanky and ask for the review from Matt Nix, our referee, and there is the red flag.
And his magic red hanky is not to be confused with Danny Amendola,
No.
Sam Bradford's binky.
The
Was it
blankie or
Blanky?
binky.
I've heard it both ways. Yes. Marshall, you named
I
Danny
like
Amendola Blanky.
Yeah, he's the security blanket.
Kind of like Linus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
All right, on the
Is
peanuts.
his knee down there? Look at
No, knee's not down. That ball's out. I know a fumble when I see one. Not like I ever did one, but I know one.
Take a look at it.
The ball's out. That's a fumble.
Yeah, that's a turnover. And the clean recovery, like the clean recovery, Rams ball, like right there.
McLeod picked it up, the rookie safety. Let's see if it's Rams ball when we get back. Jeff Fisher has challenged the ruling on the field, 31-10. And the ruling on the field is Nate Eachus, rookie running back out of Colgate, was down at the 25, maybe 26-yard line. But Fisher has challenged, and we think he may win this.
I'm very confident.
Rodney McLeod, the rookie safety, with the recovery. Rocky McIntosh, the veteran linebacker, former Redskin. He forced the fumble, and we are waiting on the review. This would be the fourth turnover for the Chiefs.
Usually, like a forearm, they'll say he was down, but he didn't even have that down.
No, that was a fumble, and it's not good if you're Nate Eachus. And I'll tell you what else. The fact that you know it's a fumble is because of how long it's taking.
They're right now where the spot of the ball should be.
Where's the ball? What down is it? How much time's on the clock? They're going over all those things right now. If they were just keeping it as is, the guy next to him wouldn't be writing stuff down on his little notepad.
Richard Matt will get it right.
Richard Matt Nix is our referee this evening.
It's just Richard Matt.
After further review, the runner was not down by contact prior to the fumble. There was clear recovery by St. Louis. It will be St. Louis ball, 1st and 10 on the 25. St. Louis is not charged a timeout.
Alex Hoffman-Ellis runs off and pumps his fist. This Rams defense has forced its 4th turnover on the night.
And that's big. I mean, now I want to see, what the offense can do with this football in this position. I mean,
I say go up top right here.
Right
Sudden
now?
change. Play action pass. Throw it in the end zone. Let me see Givens or Quick.
See, I would have thought as an offensive lineman, right now this is your opportunity to just take advantage of the defensive line, because if the roles were reversed, they want to pass rush.
Yeah.
It's Campbell to the right, Salas to the left. Reynolds is the running back. Brody Eldridge now, the tight end, comes in motion. Brand Stater is the quarterback from the 25, and they'll keep it on the ground. Chase Reynolds lowers his head, gets a couple of yards shy of the 20, call it the 23.
Just a little wham play there. Brody Eldridge comes in motion, and he actually blocks the nose tackle. That's why they call it a wham. Eldridge is interesting because he played center, started at center for the Oklahoma Sooners, so you got to think he's got to be one of the better blocking tight ends if he was able to play center for Oklahoma.
2nd and 9, they called it a gain of 1. Rams up 31-10, and now down to their 4th quarterback. Brand Stater again hands it to Chase Reynolds, who we've seen on special teams and actually seen here the last 2 preseasons. Doesn't get much, again, maybe yards. Sorry, Ross, they're not going up top.
He does it all. He does it all. I mean, whether it's running back, run down, return, run down on kickoffs, run down on punt. The kid does it all. He's trying to. That's one of those guys. You'll find him on a team because he can do it all. Fighting for a job.
Hey, 59 career touchdowns at Montana. So the guy was a productive running back at one point.
Montana produces a lot of guys. I mean, I feel like every team, Croy Bierman, I mean, you go right down the list, Colt Anderson, around the league.
3rd down, Eldridge in motion. Brand Stater nowhere to go. He is hammered down. I mean, hammered by Jarrell Poe. And also number 31, Terrence Parks, is there.
And Poe's a guy that's really 3rd string nose tackle. He makes a little bit of move to the right of T-Bob Hebert. It looked to me like T-Bob thought that he might have some help from his right guard, but that was not the case. That was too easy.
All right, so Garrett Lindholm is now in for the field goal try. This is a 50-yarder. A 50-yarder. We saw earlier Zerline with a 52-yarder. Let's see what kind of leg Lindholm has. Hecker with the hold, puts it down at the 40. The kick is up, has the distance. It is no good. Wide to the right. So the Rams off the turnover come up with nothing. Still lead, though, 31-10 with 6:29 remaining on the Rams Broadcasting Network. We will keep it right here.
And that just stinks. I feel for Lindholm right now because he's going to think about that all night, all day tomorrow. And the reality is he's probably going to get released sometime soon. And he'll have to think to himself, well, if I made that kick, maybe I could have gotten, some notoriety from another team.
But couldn't you see the difference in the kick?
Oh, yeah.
That ball barely hit the yellow line. Where Jeezy's ball hit all the way up to
you
net.
Love that.
I love that.
Young GZ. Look at the initials, Greg Zerline. GZ. I was told before the game, some around Rams Park are calling Greg Zerline Young GZ. Not to be confused with the rapper.
There's our guy again. Good break on the ball again. Tremaine Johnson.
Yeah, active.
To bring down Josh
and
Bellamy.
you believe that he'll play safety at some point.
Yeah, I think he can. They can move him inside as well. Hey, let's go down to the sideline. Lance Kendricks had a touchdown earlier, standing by with Maurice.
Yeah, Andrew, Lance Kendricks here, and tell us about the touchdown. You were rumbling and stumbling right on in, man.
Yeah, I just turned around, saw open field, and I was like, hey, let me try to get in the end zone. So I made it happen.
Tell us about your progress. Last year, there were some rough moments, but tell me about what you're doing in the preseason to try to just turn things around.
All right, just stay focused. I think is my main thing. Just come out every day and keep my head in the playbook, and that's what I've been doing, and coming out game day and just being focused.
How you like what's going on with this offense? Brian Schottenheimer trying to bring something new, trying to mix things up a little bit. Right now, you seem to be right in the mix.
Right. I feel great about it. I feel real confident. I think last year I started out confident, and things got a little, here and there, but this year I think just going into it, I feel real confident and focused. So.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Lance Kendricks, the big tight end. Send it back up to you, Andrew.
All right, guys. Thank you, Maurice. Drummond down to the sideline. That is your Edward Jones FaceTime. Edward Jones making sense of investing. That is Zeke Markhausen out of Northwestern with the catch for first down yardage.
Let's go back to and I heard Lance Kendricks, and I remember watching him last preseason, and Great preseason, but we got in the first game, and he said it. I think he was a little overconfident once he got into the regular season, thinking that it was going to be like the preseason. Steven Jackson gets hurt. Danny Amendola goes down, and they come to him, and he drops a touchdown, and his confidence just left him. And I think he said the most important thing, just stay focused.
Jeremy Horn with the catch there, also loses his helmet. Marshall, I was talking to Lance a couple of weeks ago as well, and he is not afraid to admit it. I give him credit for that. He is not afraid to say, listen, last year I did lose my confidence. I dropped the ball a couple of times, and it was a learning experience. Everything kind of went downhill, and I went downhill with it. But you can see, again, it is only the preseason, but that catch, that stiff arm, he finished that play. He looks good.
But what I like is what I heard in an interview. He understands now that there's a difference between the preseason and the regular season. So, albeit, yes, I made a good move, I did what I need to do, that's my job. But it doesn't mean that everything is how it needs to be.
Jeremy Horn is loose, leaps, and gets into the end zone. Brady Quinn to Jeremy Horn on a 38-yard touchdown, and Kansas City gets into the end zone for the second time tonight.
Pretty good series there for Brady Quinn and Jeremy Horn. Jeremy Horn, a second-year wide receiver out of UMass. He played with Victor Cruz from the New York Giants. Just a crossing pattern. Quinn had a lot of time to be able to unload that ball, and Horn shows some good run after catch.
And what I like about what I saw from Brady Quinn there, I mean, listen, you're under duress. They tell you, hey, get a quarterback's feet moving, and he's not going to be as accurate. And Brady stood in there, took the pressure, and delivered a great ball, hit the receiver in stride.
Kendrick Burney with the coverage there. Jeremy Horn beat him and got into the end zone for a 38-yard score. We're talking a lot about expectations, not only for Lance Kendricks, but really for the rest of this team. Everything is new. The slate has been wiped clean, something Jeff Fisher made abundantly clear when training camp began.
I haven't had anybody tell me since I took this job that we can't go to the playoffs. And once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. So, nor have I told anybody, or anybody's told me that, well, this is a good rebuilding year for you. I mean, our goal right now, as we speak this afternoon, is to have the best practice we've had so far at camp. we are, in so doing, we're going to learn how to win, because we're going through all those specific things that create opportunities for you to win, whether it's a 2-minute offense or 4-minute offense, a run game, or what have you. And when you learn how to win, then winning comes. So we have a short period of time to accomplish that, but I'm not a long-term goal-setting coach. I'm a short-term goal-setting coach that allows you to, achieve the vision that we have, which is ultimately to win a championship.
Guys, the one thing that stands out, talking to this team and talking to Jeff Fisher, is that from day one they believe in that guy because they know that he has the resume. He's learned from these guys on the screen. He has taken a team to the Super Bowl, and they believe him.
You know what? And rightfully deserved. I mean, those are his mentors. And listen, you study behind some of the greats in the league. You see where his defensive influence come from. And you understand why his thumbprint on his team is going to be huge. I'm glad that the Rams, that they have Jeff, and people are always talking about, well, in Tennessee, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Well, the one thing I knew is when you were playing a Jeff Fisher coach team, you were going to get a well-coached team. You better bring your A game. They were going to fight to the end. And listen, you were going to leave out of that game sore.
I'm so glad I was just going to say, and physical and tough and nasty. They were always those three things. I never liked playing against the Titans. It always seemed like they had studs in the front seven, and they were thumpers too.
And I think the other thing, to note here as well, is that Fisher could have waited a year. He didn't have to come back and coach this year. People say, well, he chose the Rams, and the Rams won the offseason by signing Jeff Fisher. Calvin Middleton with the carry there. Brand Stater, the quarterback. He could have stayed at home.
But
he could have waited to next year, but he chose to come here.
I think it's the opportunity that he saw and what he saw here. And the one thing that, and he understands this, because when he was in Tennessee and he had the late Steve McNair, that franchise quarterback head coach pairing, it's huge, and you need one of those guys, and he saw in Sam Bradford just that, exactly that, like the two of them. Remember, people don't even understand this. There's only two guys on the team that carry records.
Sure.
A head coach and a quarterback.
Yes.
We don't know how many games Ross won. They don't care how many games I won. That doesn't follow me.
Middleton the carry, and he is close to a first down. You mentioned the quarterback here. I also think, Marshall, you got to remember, he had defensive pieces here as well. Matter of fact, listen to what James Laurinaitis had to say.
Well, I think he saw an opportunity. I think he saw Sam Bradford. Sam's a terrific talent. He's a great player, and I think he really wanted to work with a great quarterback and potentially a great quarterback. And so, it means a lot that he came here, and I think it makes you want to play harder for him. It shows that he wanted to be in St. Louis. He wanted to be with the Rams organization, and I'm just excited to be a part of this thing going forward.
And what you don't hear there is after he finished that, I said to James Laurinaitis, as Middleton runs again, I said, hey, James, you're here. Chris Long is here. There are defensive pieces here as well. Don't overlook that side of the equation.
Exactly, and let's listen. Laurinaitis, Chris Long, Sam Bradford, all of that is good. Mr. Kroenke,
yes.
And Kevin Demoff, they won the sweepstakes against Jeff Fisher. He was the best quarterback best head coach available.
And he has a quarterback and a linebacker with him as well. 2-minute warning here. Rams on top of the Chiefs, 31-17. .com fantasy football is as legit as fantasy football gets. Free live scoring, instant video highlights. Go legit. Sign up for free at NFL.com/fantasy. That's a completion there from our quarterback, fourth-string quarterback, Brand Stater, to D'Angelo Peterson, the rookie at LSU. Marshall, I think you and I are in the same NFL.com league, by the way.
Yeah, I've won this league before. I'm a past champ. I don't mean to bring
the champ is here.
I don't mean to bring it up.
No, I brought it up. What do you say?
That's happened before.
What do you say?
Just want you to know.
All right, so I know what I have. What I have to face.
Yeah.
All right, good times.
You must have put up some pretty good fantasy numbers when you were here, man.
Actually, I have heard Marshall described here on 3rd and 4, and I'm not making this up, Marshall, as, again, it's complete to the tight end across midfield, D'Angelo Peterson, first down. I've heard Marshall described, and this is going to sound awkward, as the first real fantasy football superstar. When fantasy football really took off and really hit the internet, Marshall,
there are some who argue that you, at the peak of your game, were that first fantasy superstar.
I'm waiting for the call from the Fantasy Football Hall of Fame. Y'all laughing, I'm serious.
Is there one?
I think there is.
Is there?
I think there will be soon.
If there's not, we need to start it.
All I want is for them, if you do go into the Fantasy Football Hall of Fame, to get the bust right. You know, get the what do you call it? The statue right. You know? Don't make it like Dion last year. Brand Stater's going to take a knee. Tonight's star of the game is brought to you by Hardee's and the grilled cheese bacon thick burger only at Hardee's. Eat like you mean. Our star today, Danny Amendola. 3 catches, 58 yards. That one for 35, and he later had a touchdown.
Well, and that first one really got it started, and this one, his ability to contort his body like that was huge.
I'm just going to say Sam Bradford is happy. He got his blankie back.
He got his blankie back.
Yeah.
And again, the blankie being his security blanket. Danny Amendola, 85 catches a couple of years ago. First win as Jeff Fisher shakes hands with Brian Daboll. There is Casey Pierce from the Rams PR department with the Governor's Cup. Jeff Fisher's first victory.
The fifth Governor's
preseason.
Cup.
Shouldn't he have more like security around him or something? I mean, that's the Governor's Cup.
Well, maybe
right
we need to have him put the white gloves on, like when you're handling.
He should have the white gloves.
Yeah.
He should have the white gloves. Rams increase their lead in the Governor's Cup series to 14-8, and that Governor's Cup here will stay at home at the Edward Jones Dome. We'll get out of the field, get a little post-game reaction after this. Rams a winner, 1-1 of the preseason, 31-17.